What's up, Stephanie? Hi, hi. Hey, let me know how this sounds, if it's coming through okay. I should just like tune into Steve, and that way you'll be getting the echo. Let's see if I can get my thing here. Oh, come on. It is kind of like Star Wars Night starting early. Hey guys, what's up, Rogue Comics? We are getting ready to start here in just a minute. Scott Riffin's the first up. He will be talking all things Star Wars of the prequel era. We're going to do like a... Well, basically we're going to do segments as we build up to the trailer release. So, Scott Riffin's up first. We're going to do a segment with him. Then we're going to crash Steve Glosson's live stream for Geek Out Loud, which is also underway right now. And then we got Bruce Gibson and Aaron Goins coming on at 9 o'clock to, I don't know, BS until the trailer comes out. So that's the plan, thrown together a little last minute, but it's good to be live streaming again. Star Wars Tonight is back, more or less. It's what it feels like, so I'm excited to be here, guys. Glad you're tuning in, and we'll be starting the show here in just a moment. Oh, what's up, Matt? Hi. Evidently everyone decided to live stream, which is cool. I'm just excited people are excited. I'm pretty hyped. Let me check and see if Scott's ready. I think he is. Alright, let's see if this works. Alright, let's see.
Scott
Riffen.
Hey!
Hi, sir. Howdy ho. What's the word? What's happening?
Not much. You say you're doing the video thing?
I am doing the video thing. Say hi to everybody, because we're live.
Oh, we're live on video?
Well, you're about to be. Let me just drag you over to this. I have 3 screens, Scott.
Holy cow!
It's overkill. It is extreme overkill. But let me get you fancy schmancy all full screened here. I don't even know how Skype works anymore. We didn't do like a, I didn't do a test run.
Test run, schmast run. Who needs it?
Exactly.
You're a professional.
You're
semi-professional.
You're sharing your screen, but not your video small, sir. But your personality's is bigger than ever.
That's kind of offensive.
It's like
let's see. I don't know how to do Skype either. Apparently,
that's okay. That's okay.
But I'm going to click the heart button here because I really like this. There I am. I'm huge. Webcam settings.
Oh, are you sharing the screen?
I don't know what I'm doing. I think I hit share the screen, but I didn't know what it would do.
Oh, that's yeah. Well, it's going great.
Where's the unshare screen? I'll quickly do that.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I can call you back. That's a fast way to do it. That is the ultimate fast. 2
old men.
It's a trap. All right, let's try him again. Scott Riffen, everybody. Oh, I should not be sending my video. There we go. There, looking good. There, this. Perfect.
Now, am I better?
Nah. Whoa!
No, that's not better. Never you mind.
You have been illuminated.
Illuminated.
Yeah, no, it's youtube.com/Star Wars Report if you want to share. But I just posted that we're live and doing it. Well, we are doing it live, but also we have a bit of a interesting format tonight, which I decided 5 minutes ago because I realized it's going to be a mess of a show if we try to just have everybody on and some people on. So we're doing a segment with you. I haven't told you, we haven't discussed the show, we haven't done a topic or anything, but in your honor, sir,
no,
I have printed out. Actually, I printed out this article a while ago, but I've just never talked about it. It's been sitting on my desk, and I was like, this would be a great little discussion for Scott, and it's like talk radio because I'm crackling my paper towers.
Yeah.
Snurdling. Yeah. No. So anyways, so we're going to talk a little bit about the Disney era of Star Wars, but we're not going to whine about it. All right. All right. But
okay.
what we are going to do is kind of build a picture of Star Wars fandom, where we are, what we're excited about for the trailer, and let's see. Yeah.
Imagine, if you will, a bunch of nerds waiting on a trailer.
I know, live on YouTube. Which, by the way, welcome everybody. Glad you're tuning in. So we got a fun. We're going to talk to Scott for a little bit. Oh, wow. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I have to.
You gotta get yours. I can't see you, by the way. Where are you?
Mm-hmm. I know you can't see it, Scott, but the people can.
Why can't I see you?
Well, you can see it if you tune in on youtube.com/Star Wars Report, and you'll see the whole thing.
Why do I have to? But is it live? Is it in real time?
Yes. Yeah, it's in real time. Well, no, it's the internet. It's like
no, it's not.
It's like a 30-second delay. It's like so I'll just
so
hold up my for the gag. My thermal He's holding a thermal detonator. So we're talking to Scott Rifen, coming up at around 8:30.
Staring blankly for 30 minutes, and then 30 seconds, and then your stuff will show up.
Yeah, I know, exactly. And then we're going to crash Steve's live stream. I don't know how this is going to work. You're welcome to join, Scott, as we do it in about half an hour.
It's kind of like doing Carson.
In what way? Explain yourself, sir.
Whoa. Well, I mean, you get. Like the first guest comes on, and when the next guest comes on, I just move down the couch, but I stick around.
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
yeah. I watched. Listen,
holy cow!
I watched Johnny Carson every no.
I'm glowing white over here. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I mean, I'm pasty, but that's good Lord. I should never have looked at this YouTube channel. Should never have done this. Extra line here.
Matt Rushing's tuned in. He says he's a big fan of the Solo shirt. I have a new Star Wars shirt. It's kind of just a splash page. I like yours better a little bit. I just rewatched. I'm a new fan of Solo. Kind of.
Force for change shirt.
I say new fan. I just hadn't watched it in a long time, and I forgot how good it was.
Oh, it's a cute movie. Yeah. I like your shirt.
But so Scott, I actually want to talk to you today. I wrote. Are you ready? I'm going to do a little dramatic reading. In the year... When was this published? Published November 12th, 2012.
1955.
No.
Oh, that's November 5th. Sorry. November 5th, 1955.
But, so... And yes, I wrote it. And yes, I'm reading my own article. It's not very well written. This is a lot of years ago. I wasn't in college yet. I hadn't learned the writing things. So go easy on me. But it said, sorry, all right. Star Wars Episode 7 is coming out. I like stating the obvious in your topic sentence. All right. I've never seen so many people who disliked the direction of the franchise over the past few years jump back on the bandwagon. I envision the minions from Despicable Me. Hooray! George Lucas is no longer involved. No more of that Jar Jar crap. We're finally getting the movies we always wanted. What could go wrong? Is the question I posed in 2012. These are the same people who naively seem to think that the prequels are everything that's wrong with the franchise, where the real problem can be themselves. And if you think about it, almost everyone can agree the Phantom Menace had way more hype than it could possibly live up to, no matter what you think of the film. Realize that people had their own idea of what it should be, and when it didn't fit perfectly into that picture, predictably, they were disappointed. This is very similar to what I see going on right now. Now is this is 2012, people. Now is the honeymoon period. Everyone is really excited. Joe Schmo, who hasn't liked a single Star Wars movie since The Empire Strikes Back, is really excited. Episode 7 is going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Why? And, not going to happen. Why? Because Joe Schmo's convinced that the new Star Wars movie must be a direct adaptation of Zahn's Heir to the Empire, or has to overwrite the expanded universe, or it's got to recast the Big Three, or it can't possibly recast the Big Three, or Joss Whedon must direct it, or J.J. Abrams, or Steven Spielberg. You get the idea. I'm already seeing people online saying, Disney better not screw it up. Now, I really wish that was I have one more paragraph, and I really wish I'm nailing it so far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So far, so good.
But all right, jump to the last paragraph here. The reality is that George Lucas wrote the treatments, and Kathleen Kennedy will stay true to George's vision. And that vision might not fit exactly into what people want or think it should be, but it's still going to be new Star Wars on the big screen. I choose to enjoy the new Star Wars films for what they are, and not hate them for what they're not. I sound like Rose before Rose was the thing.
Yeah.
But 2012, everyone was jumping back on the bandwagon, and I thought that was an apropos way to pose this question to you, Mr. Scott Rifen.
Yes.
How do you think, as we're recording this right now, anticipating the trailer release, what do you think having J.J. Abrams back means for what they're calling the end of the Skywalker saga?
I think it is a very, very smart move. And the reason is because as much as people now like retroactively say, well, all Disney Star Wars is crap.
No.
A lot of people were kind of set off by Last Jedi. And the truth is, if you remember when Force Awakens came out in theaters, they had to kill it. They literally had to yank it out of theaters so they could push it out on home video and get the next movie queued up, Rogue One.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people were loving it and were going back to see it time and again. I will tell you, as I think I've said a few times before, I went and saw it and listened to my own commentary track for it while I was in the theater. So, I probably saw it 8 or 9 times. I saw it 8 times.
Interesting.
I tell you, yeah, well, it was like, it would be Saturday night, 9, 10 o'clock, and I'd go, hey, honey, you want to do anything? She'd go, no, and I knew what that meant. And so I'd say, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go to the movies then. And that would slip off to the theater. The 8th and final time, I knew it was time to just give it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching the movie, and then the cop is jabbing me in the arm going, hey, buddy, the movie's over, come on. And I said, okay, I'm done.
That's fair. Well, and I think but specifically drill down to that a little bit. Like, I know it was successful, but is it just the box office? Is there more than just the financial and sort of critical success of The Force Awakens?
No. Because look, people who objected to the prequels because they weren't the first 3 films. And they weren't in the exact spirit of the first 3 films. But this movie, and everybody nowadays go, well, it was just a ripoff of the original movie. They just redid it. Well, yeah, and there's a reason for that. Because they were trying to give people exactly what they didn't get out of the prequels. They wanted. Now, look, I'm not a prequel basher. I'm a prequel hearter. I love the prequels. I enjoy the prequels no end. You will never find me getting cross with the prequels. But that was a lot of the objection. And at the time, there was a sense of, and this, a lot of this came from my sitting down for a couple of nights with Bresnikan doing his Star Wars story, and he was right in the thick of that at the time.
Yeah.
And a lot of our conversation was the mission at Lucasfilm was kind of, we've got to wash the taste of the prequels out of people's mouths and bring them classic Star Wars. And that's what JJ did. Was it on the template of the original? Was it practically a remake of the original? In a sense, yeah. But you know what it was? It was a lot of what the original Star Wars was. Good guys, bad guys, spaceships,
good guys,
fun,
bad guys. Yeah. Well,
street lights.
So, and there's a lot of overlap, but I do, and I've said this many times on the podcast, but I feel tonight is a good time to reiterate that there's a very fundamental difference in all of the Joseph Campbellian story structure elements that The Force Awakens mirrors A New Hope. There's a very distinct difference, and that's the mentor figure. Because there really isn't one. It's Han Solo, the broken mentor. Solo. And I think some people make the argument that he's a deadbeat. But I mean, yes, and I think that made the story had more potential, and there's a lot more interest there for how Han got to the place he was, and he's trying to help Rey as best he can, but he's no Obi-Wan Kenobi, and she has to figure it out for herself. And that's like, if you want to talk about how they're exactly a carbon copy, that is a very big difference, because Luke has Obi-Wan literally kind of walk him up all the way to the end, down to the final, climax of the film, the shot.
Until he gets whacked with a saber.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Oh yeah. But but thinking about that though, I mean the responsibility for eliminating Starkiller Base isn't Rey's either. Mm-hmm. So that kind of becomes a little bit of a bugaboo for the whole thing. The whole, it's a bit for bit remake of Star Wars. And It's not entirely. I don't think it is. And look, I love the movie. I love Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Heck, I saw you in New York City. Why? Because I was in New York City
That's
to see
true.
the New York Philharmonic doing Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I mean, I flew from little tiny South Georgia where we can't seem to keep a cargo carrier upright.
Mm.
And by the way, you know that's still there, right?
Wait, what?
Our cargo carrier that flipped over. It was like on all the national news.
Oh, geez. Really?
It's still there. Like when I can drive into town and you can just see it bigger than day.
Dang.
You missed that on CNN, did you?
I probably did.
We had a cargo carrier overturn here. It's like I forget how many, 400 cars on it or something.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it just flipped.
Jeez. Well, I guess I don't know. As I think about the Force Awakens and the things I liked and didn't like, I think the J.J. Abrams quotes that have come out so far, because we're in the early press season, right, where he's done a couple interviews, and I forget what magazine. Was it GQ? Not GQ. It's one of the magazines. Empire magazine did an interview with him, and there's been a number of J.J. Abrams. I know, different.
GQ, Empire.
They're all the same.
Girl on her own, it's all the same.
There've been a couple quotes circulating where he is talking about the importance of wrapping up the whole saga and how that really informs the movie. What does that mean to you? Like, what are you expecting to see, like, in the trailer and also in the film? How do you actually what elements are missing that J.J. Abrams needs to bring in?
What's funny about is I'm not that guy, which is why I got a little frustrated when everybody kept saying, "Oh, that you didn't care for that because it defied your expectations." I'm like, I didn't have expectations. When I went, again, going back to the weekend in New York City, before we bumped into you, I went into the Disney store and I had my green Last Jedi Forces for Change shirt on, and I was like accosted by the cast member there. "Oh my God, I can't wait till that movie comes out. What do you think, Ray? She's a Skywalker, right? Is she a Skywalker? What do you think?" And I said, "I don't know. Wait, let the movie tell me. I want to be surprised. I want to be interested." I feel like they need to kind of put a punctuation mark on the whole saga. And that, but really, I'm not sure what that means ultimately, because initially we got 3 films that, by the way, all of the press materials and all the ancillary materials all called it From the Adventures of Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
Then we got a prequel trilogy, which reshaped every movie into Darth Vader's story.
Yeah.
You know, his story of his rise, his fall, and his redemption. So what is tacking these 3 movies on going to ultimately do? That I do not know. Oh, you got 25-minute wait time for tickets?
I did. I was just sharing that a little bit. And it's not me, as Mr. Bruce Gibson is standing by trying to get tickets to the AMC in Atlanta.
Lovely.
We'll see how that goes.
Yes.
I'm glad he's doing that while I stream. Are you in line for tickets now? Are you worried about access here?
No, I'll get tickets. It's Brunswick. I'll get tickets.
You're not just like, it's not gonna be a problem.
No, but I will tell you, I've already put in for the day off from work.
Okay.
On the 20th.
Nice.
So I'll be going Thursday night and then playing Wookiee Hookie the next day.
Okay, nice.
Has
that been something you've done for each Star Wars film that's come out?
Well, you got to remember, when you say each Star Wars film that comes out, please clarify.
Of the Disney era. No, I should specify.
Yeah, the Disney era, yes, for the most part. It's funny. The original trilogy, of course, I was not in control of my own destiny because I was a child.
Yes.
The prequel trilogy, I was semi in control of my own destiny, but really I was still climbing a ladder. So I wasn't like work-wise where I need to be. And now I'm much more in control of my own destiny professionally. And so I can do these things. So yes, since Disney era, the deal is go Thursday night, play Wookiee Hookie Friday.
Okay. Nice.
And I don't know. I did do it for Solo because I went and did the show with you right afterwards at the theater.
Yes, that's true.
Remember that?
That is true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I went Thursday night, then I went Friday and saw it, and then ran out of the theater at the start of the credits and found a little alcove. I arranged it with the theater people first.
That's right.
Yeah, and I set up all my equipment in a little known area of the movie theater.
I did not realize this was the extent that you had gone to prepare for that Solo review.
Oh yeah, no, I packed up my tablet and my microphone, and I had it all in my backpack. And when I walked in, of course, I was afraid they were thinking, well, this guy, he's going to be dressed as the Joker shooting the theater up. So I had to kind of went up to him and said, look, I got a bag here. The bag has microphones and blah, blah, blah. And the thing is, I'm doing a podcast. Like the second this movie ends, I'm doing a podcast. Is there anywhere I can go? And they said, yeah, we've got this old snack counter. It used to be the snack counter.
Yeah.
Before they redesigned everything, and it still looks like a snack counter, still sitting there. And so I went over there and just started setting everything. The funny thing was I was trying to get internet at the time, couldn't get the internet to come through. Trying, and these two people walked by and went, "Hey, is that Scott Rifen? We've never met him. We listen every morning. Scott, it's good to see you." And they came over and started. And I'm like, I love. It's great, but I gotta get this thing going. Would you shake the hand? Yes, great, wonderful. And I felt bad because I'm kind of blowing them off, but at the same time, I got a deadline with you.
My gosh, well, with Bruce Gibson, because he was the one doing the production on that show, I was finding an alcove at the Austin airport, if I remember right.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I was on the go, calling in. I was not as professional as you. I didn't set anything up. I just went like downstairs in a waiting area and put on like my little headphones on my phone and just called in on Skype.
No, you're a schlub.
Yeah, I know, totally. It was interesting because I kind of want to play. It sounds like I'm going to. I need to look at my work schedule, but that's the wonderful thing about the military is that if you're not mission essential, this is my pitch for recruiting. You like 30 days of leave a year, so you better believe I'm going to use at least one day of leave to drive out to Atlanta and go see it with Bruce Gibson if he, as he just sent me this screenshot, is able to snag these tickets in the next 25 minutes. Hopefully there's decent seats left. I think so. I get the sense that it is more of an event film than Solo. I mean, obviously it's the.
Well, sure, yeah.
It's the. I do think that I'm not as worried as Last Jedi or Force Awakens on tickets though. Force Awakens was nuts when we were sitting here, 3 years ago, whatever it is, in the same position waiting for the Force Awakens tickets with Steve Lawson. Nonetheless, this is really a full circle moment. It's the end of the Skywalker saga, and also the end of the saga of us crashing stream. That's
really. All I needed was I just needed to bring the podcasting full circle. To hell with the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as we bring the podcasting back around, I'm okay.
Yeah. Good.
Get closure on the podcasting.
Exactly. Well, and hopefully, as he's promising in all of these excerpts and interviews, we'll get some closure from J.J. Abrams. Because I think I don't know. I was thinking about this, and the big pitch right now is Palpatine. I think Palpatine is the way that they want to bring things full circle. And it's really the only way, right? If you're going to try to figure out how the Skywalker saga continues, it's kind of disappointing if it's just like some random dark side user or the Yusong Vong or something like that.
But remember also, and this is what's interesting to me about all that, is the Emperor Palpatine is the Phantom Menace. So it does go all the way back to the first film when you think about it.
That is,
the first film chronologically.
Yeah, that is true. Well,
and is the Phantom Menace.
We will watch your career with great interest. It is true. It is the driving factor of the prequels. The prequels is the story and the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And the thing is, people slag the Phantom Menace, it drives me nuts, because one of the things I just think is so cool about the Phantom Menace is everything that happens on either side of the ball, since it's football night, offense and defense, everything that happens is designed to get Palpatine into the Chancellor's seat. Yeah.
Everything that takes place in that movie is by design, and it's engineered to get him the Chancellor position.
And this is the part where the bureaucrats and mired in corruption.
I'm going to whisper in your ear.
Right. I call for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum.
Pushing her.
I do love that is one funny thing about the current Disney era is the sort of resurgence. I think largely the root of this cultural resurgence of the prequels is the prequel memes. Like the Reddit, the fact that I don't know how much you follow Reddit culture, Scott, but the whole prequel meme subreddit exploded a couple years ago. And it just became a great celebration of all of the bad dialogue, all of the moments that, like, when we were kids, the people my age thought was the badassest ever thing, like Droidicas and Darth Maul, and
they're not.
We loved all of that.
What are you talking about?
I know, right? But listen, we had to endure years, decade plus
of
the Plinkets of the world.
Oh, yeah.
That's
true. You had to endure the Plinkets
pooping on the prequels. And so the fact that all right, this is the one slightly political thing I'll try to delve into. My new statement, guys. I know. I'm calling it right now. The prequels are the George Bush of the Star Wars universe. How do you like me now? Bad dialogue, really kind of rough delivery, bad dialogue. All right, that's all I'm gonna do. I'll leave the rest to Beltway.
Hey, it's time for Bubba's Bounty.
No, right. But I do love the way that if you think about it, Palpatine is the full circle element, and I think certainly by the promotional material. That's what they're gonna do. What do we have here? What do we have?
My Bubba's Bounty this week. $6.99.
What?
$6.99.
Did you what? What?
At Ross.
Huh.
$6.99.
At where?
Ross.
Ross?
Yes.
It's
$6.99.
Ross has Star Wars toys?
Yeah, they do. They have a little toy closeout section, and they got all kinds. I've gotten so much junk from there. It's not even funny. Because after Last Jedi, I changed my tack on Star Wars collecting. Mm-hmm. I only buy things on closeout.
Okay.
And so, but I've bought more in the last 2 years than I've bought in the previous 10. Because there's so much stuff in closeout in so many different places. So, it's that's my thing. And see, this $10 from a vendor in the street, but I take it, I bury it in the sand for 1,000 years, it becomes priceless. Men will kill for it.
Yes.
Men like you and me.
Yeah. Oh, here's a question from Stephanie in the chat. What do we think of a Hayden appearance? Is that a bridge too far? Do you think that's possible?
No, I think he does. I absolutely think he does. I don't think there's been all this Hayden is making nice with Star Wars again for no reason.
Yeah.
I absolutely think he Force ghosts it in, and maybe it's just one big appearance where they're all like Rey's marching into the hall of the Force ghosts or something. But yeah, I absolutely think that they bring him back. Again, I think this is going to be one of those things where he's going to try. Look, you got to remember, I'm a big fan of Star Wars, but what else?
Lord of the Rings.
No, that's you.
Oh wait, that is me.
That's your sister.
Oh, that's also. You're also a big fan of Sting.
Kiss.
No, I was in the right direction. No, I know.
No. So Kiss is on this final tour ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe this time because I don't physically think they can do it again. But what would it be if they went out and did not play all of the greatest hits? You know what I'm saying? What if they went out and played a bunch of obscure stuff and everybody's like, the last time I saw you played all this crap. Why didn't you play the stuff I wanted you to play? So I think one thing he's going to have to do is tell a compelling story, but he's also going to have to do greatest hits. He's going to have to give us a lot of things we wanted and haven't had yet.
Is Hayden Christensen a greatest hit? Do you think that sort of fits in the...
He is now, yeah.
What a world we live in.
It's kind of like in the mid '80s when Nixon gets the Time magazine cover and it's he's back. They started rehabilitating his image all of a sudden.
Yeah.
How? Don't know. But yeah, I think Hayden Christensen is a greatest hit for a lot of us. I think Maul's a greatest hit for a lot of us.
Amen. Amen. Listen, bring hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
I don't write him off as some kind of a bit, some kind of an appearance somewhere, and some kind of a Force vision thing in this.
Yeah.
I don't write Qui-Gon off.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you like, it's greatest at bring him Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor. Listen, he's doing the series. Why not film a little thing here? Where's what's his face up to? Qui-Gon Jinn, Liam Neeson. Just bring him in. I say, listen, do it. Do it.
I'm in favor of it. But yeah, I think you'll wind up doing that. I think there will be kind of a massive. It will by the ending. I think you will have gotten to see a lot of the people that you wanted to see, a lot of people you didn't think you would see. I think everybody's going to get a little moment.
Yeah.
Kind of a curtain call.
Yeah, I hope so. I think that'd be amazing. Don't you, Steve Clausen?
And we welcome to Geek Out Loud Riley Blanton and Scott Rifen. Lord Scott Rifen.
What's up? Hi.
Your theme, Scott?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 moment. I'm so
that
sorry.
Is so demanding.
I can't believe you brought me in and did not bring me my theme.
Well, I didn't know you were with Riley.
Oh. I'm on the couch. This is like the Tonight Show.
Well, I didn't know you were there.
Like I'm in the guest chair, and then I move over to the couch with Ed.
Scott, how long are you going to be there with Riley?
As long as I can possibly be.
Oh, gosh.
All right. Well, come on over to Geek Out Loud instead.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And now, the most listened to man in South Georgia radio, Lord Scott Rifen.
That's right.
I'm having some sound issues. I think I've got some crossover problems and everything else going
on. How about that county commission, huh? What a bunch of dopes.
Why? Because you requested it, here is my transcript from today's opening segment. Nice. I don't really know a lot about this Pastor Robert Jeffries, but I know Star Wars. Speaking of which, apparently on Monday...
So you read that, did you?
I did. Apparently on Monday Night Football, and the promotion of the new trailer, they're talking to some football players about what Star Wars means to them.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Yes. Yes. Wow. I thought about hitting up Julian Edelman for an episode of My Star Wars Story.
Wow.
That'd be pretty amazing. Steve, how's it going, man?
It's going well. How are you, Riles?
I am doing pretty great. I'm pretty psyched. I haven't been this excited about Star Wars in a while, actually. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it just feels
you've got other stuff going on, Riley. Let me tell you what you're about to find out.
Oh, okay. Like, you just went through this, so yeah.
You're about to find out. Look, Scott can't talk to you about this stuff. Scott is a veteran at marriage.
You're both rookies. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to give you the rookie version of
marriage.
All right,
hit me.
You're going to find out that you don't care about anything in this world near as much as you care about your wife.
That'll change.
And it's going to careful now. And it's going to take you a while to kind of find that balance again, where you actually want to sit down behind a microphone instead of hang out with your wife. I'm still not there. I'd rather hang out with my wife. I'm looking. She's going to come in here in a minute and just kind of sit while I'm recording. It's going to be just wonderful. So just prepare your heart, buddy.
Right? It's weird. It's the podcast stuff just died for a while. It's a thing that happens. Yeah. But it's also well, it's been an interesting balance too, because so she and I just started watching Fellowship of the Ring, and she hadn't seen it since she was a kid. So there's been all these specific moments and things that we share from the geek side of things, but it's been curated. It's not like a flood of everything, and then they're the things that we share, and then there are the things that are like, that's too much. Clone Wars, I'm sorry, I love Clone Wars. We're not going to watch all of the Clone Wars. It's not going to happen.
Are you guys going to share a locker too?
Sure. Did you give her your class ring? Hey, look.
Yeah, good Lord. No, look, guys, let me tell you how let me tell you where it is now.
Let me tell you where I'm at.
Let me just give you the future. Let me give you a vision of the future, to borrow from Timothy Zahn.
Scott, Haley's listening now.
Okay, good. Tonight we are sitting here and in the living room, and my wife says to me for about the upteenth time in the last 2 weeks, I really would like us to move to a smaller house. And I said to her, wait a minute, when we bought this house, we agreed this was the house we were going to die in. And she said, yeah, but that was 11 years ago. Things have changed. and I said, wait a minute. 24 years ago, you said I was the guy you were going to die with. Has that changed?
That's true. That's a great point.
Things that you thought were forever are suddenly not forever anymore. So that's all I'm saying.
Nice. Well,
yeah, no. Accurate, Steve.
To catch everyone up, in fact, as I opened up my show, I was talking about that this month, Geek Out Loud literally turns 12 years old this month. Jeez, October 2007 was when the first episode of Geek Out Loud was released. And in 12 years' time, there have been so many things happen with just the listening audience. We talked about, we've lost people. There have been people who've passed away that were, just devoted listeners to Geek Out Loud, but they've also had just a lot of great things happen. There's a lawyer that listens to me now. I didn't know that. I'd have been like, hey man, I need some legal advice. Why is Scott Rifen trying to stiff me on my ratings or whatever the case may be? But Riley,
I'm not going to tell you what those nice people said about you, by the way, today.
Come on.
No.
Riley, ladies and gentlemen, is engaged to be wed.
Engaged. It's true.
Do you guys have a date yet, Riles?
We do, actually. I haven't announced it yet, but why not?
Oh, no. I mean, I don't want you to have to announce it.
No. We're looking at spring. Yeah.
December 20th.
That's like, no.
December 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, the day after episode 9.
I did start fielding what kind of like little small Star Wars references, because I don't want to do anything gaudy, but like little geek references I can sneak in. There have been some ideas have been planted. The biggest one so far is if I can sneak in like a Star Wars music right after the wedding dismisses as everybody's walking out, like the throne room. I kind of want to
do the throne room. Yeah, the throne room is nice and big and good. That'd be a good one.
That's kind of the leading one. I think that's the most I can get away with, but I'm pretty excited about that one.
Well, what you need to do is equip your groomsmen with lightsabers.
Ooh, well there we go.
And then they can kind of hold them aloft as you leave from the reception or what have you.
That's true, because we're not doing a military wedding, even though we're both military. So we can do we could like Star Wars it up and just do the lightsaber arch. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tip.
Yes.
Groom's cake. Remember, the groom's cake has to be A, ugly, and B, probably chocolatey. My groom, one of the few Star Wars touches I got to have in my wedding was actually a Sea Island chef made a Star Wars cake as the groom cake, and it was Darth Vader from the cover of Steve Sansweet's From Concept to Screen to Collectible book.
Nice.
Yeah. Gentlemen, Scott Riven letting that geek flag fly here tonight. So glad to have him here. I've got to now Google that book.
What?
I don't know that book cover off the top of my head. Steve,
I definitely know.
It's basically a stylized version of the Kenner Vader case.
Yeah.
What's it called now, Steve? Sansweet?
From concept to screen to collectible.
Concept to screen to Hey, I'm a great Googler. Hush your mouth.
Can we edit live?
Gosh. Yeah, I know this. Now, did he do it in that style, like with the gold and the black?
He did it in the two-tone, but it was more of a chocolate and less chocolate.
That's a really cool thing. Do you have pictures of that?
I do.
I bet they're in your storage room, in your storage building.
Yeah.
You don't love my storage unit?
Well, when I saw the weight of 1,000 suns balanced on a Star Destroyer playset, it broke my heart a little bit.
It's better. It has gotten much better.
Oh, we just got a cameo. We just got a little cameo. Hi, Savannah. Oh, I was brought. Oh, hang on. What do I have? Ooh, a cookie. Podcasting is so much better now. Oh, thanks. So anyway, about getting engaged in Star Wars. It's pretty great. It's like there's this whole thing at Dragon Con where people got mad because I was on a panel and I'm also in the military. And
yeah,
and like
and you're white.
normally
and
it would have I know, right? Normally, I would have let that kind of stuff bother that, like, people were weirdly protesting the panel I was on, and it's just like, whatever. I don't care about any of this stuff anymore.
I can't believe we let that military guy be white on a panel. What's wrong with us?
No, hey, calm down. What? They didn't like. Is it because they were anti-military? They didn't like you on the panel, Riley?
That was one of the prevailing reasons, but hey.
They somehow thought that he was going to justify the Empire.
Oh, yeah, that was it, yeah.
Meanwhile, Riley's leading the charge that children shouldn't dress up as stormtroopers.
No, that's not me. That's not me. That's
not me either.
Hey, before you guys came on, I was talking about the Iron Man score from 2008.
Gene Rami.
What?
Yeah, Ramin Djawadi.
Oh, yeah, the Game of Thrones composer. He's great.
Yeah, he did the original Iron Man score, and I've been listening to it a lot lately because I kind of wanted to do a series of shows about the music from the MCU. Now, I can't Dave Collins it because I don't have that, knowledge.
Only Dave Collins can truly Dave Collins it.
But as I listen to this score, more and more to kind of get my mind right to actually talk about it, it's a really good score, guys. It's not Superman level, but it's good. It really is a good score. It's very much that mid-2000s, early 2000s, mid aughts, kind of a lot of tonal stuff, a lot of noise, before more than melody.
Zimmer-esque.
Yeah,
more percussive and tonal.
A lot of that Marvel stuff was, especially those scores, has been criticized for not being kind of theatrical enough and being kind of not as big, I guess, as some older superhero scores.
I criticize a lot of it for not being melodic enough.
Yeah,
but I think that's just that's film score in general these days to me.
And that's also a lot of the earlier stuff. Now, Craig Armstrong has the Incredible Hulk score gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
Craig Armstrong did a really good job. He gave the Hulk a theme and everything.
But you are a shill for Hulk, too. Let's be honest.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm a shill for Hulk. But still.
I mean, I'm just cards on the table. That's all.
And I think, but then you've got Patrick Doyle's Thor score that was really good.
Yes.
And the Asgard stuff felt wonderful with that. And then, of course, when Silvestri comes in with that Captain America score for the first
Silvestri is a rock god.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I mean, we got a very hummable theme from him. And then, of course, the Avengers stuff that went through Silvestri. Then it went to Elfman and Tyler, and then back to Silvestri. But you had some things in there where especially in that phase 2, they were really trying to kind of stick with a single composer. And they handed the ball to Brian Tyler, a lot. Yep. And he was doing a lot of stuff around that time. He'd done Watchmen, and there were some other things he was doing at the time. But throughout that phase 2 of the Marvel Universe, with the exception of Winter Soldier, Brian Tyler's fingerprints are all over everything.
Including the fanfare.
Right. In which I liked the fanfare, the first fanfare.
Now, is the first one, do you count that as bam, 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 bam?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a nice little thing, as it comes on. And then when they released the newer one, everyone's like, oh, well, the old one was terrible anyway, so why do we even care about that one?
No, I like that one.
I did too. I like them all, but I'm just saying, I was just like, this was the first thing.
When I think of
yes.
I don't know why I'm.
Boom, boom,
bum, 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 bum.
Yep. That's what I did.
Thank you, Scott. And I think the sometimes, like with Captain America and Thor to a lesser extent, but especially that first Captain America, there were only a few moments. There weren't a lot of moments to really let that main theme live. Like, I feel like, and that's more of an editing thing than a score thing. I really like the work that he did for the actual theme.
Well, I remember I have a version. Everyone there? Did I lose somebody?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good.
No.
I have a version of that Captain America score somewhere that's like a concert version, like a suite version of the Captain America theme. And so it kind of hits all the motifs of the score.
Suite, by suite you mean SUITE?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
exactly.
Not SWEET.
And so it really works. That was one of my disappointments with Winter Soldier. I love Winter Soldier. I think Winter Soldier is the best superhero sequel ever. But I was disappointed that they didn't use that Captain America theme to its fullest.
I actually,
you know what?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
You know what's, I was going to say, you know what's funny about that's best superhero sequel ever to you. My favorite MCU film is that first Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because it's the first time they really said, "Oh, by the way, you know all this stuff in the Marvel universe, it's really there. You just got to look for it. Oh, here's Thor in the background. You know the tree.
Yeah.
By the way, here's the original Human Torch. Professor Horton is around. Guess what? Here's the Stark Expo. There's and all these, and there's, the first thing, of course, that pulls up is that big Hydra logo or Hydra icon on the hood ornament.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and I just jumped up to Hydra. So like that movie is still just all these little things that we read about in the comics all these years. There's these little hints of, oh yeah, by the way, this is a whole universe and all this stuff's really here.
Yeah.
You're going to get to see it one day.
Well, and I loved using, well, I mean, they call it the Tesseract, but the Cosmic Cube, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That being what the Red Skull is after, because, one of the earliest stories I remember of Captain America is the Red Skull with the Cosmic Cube. And he basically, the way I remember the way that story ends is he basically somehow gives himself like this golden armor or whatever and ends up at the bottom of a river because of it. Like it's the be careful what you wish for thing with the Cosmic Cube. And and so I just thought it was so great, such a cool way of just little things like that most people just don't even think about. My little geek brain was like, this is so neat.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I agree with you. I think they did a really good job with that movie of those little bitty drops that, aren't necessarily even Easter eggs. They're just kind of things that are connective tissue for the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. And it's just kind of, oh, by the way, this is here.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really exists. We're not making a big deal out of this, but it's there. And I walked out of that movie, and I got to tell you, I was floating for two reasons. One, it was the first place I'd ever seen a Coke freestyle machine, but also,
wow,
because
that was before all the flavors got mixed together, and you can't even get a decent glass of water out of one.
Oh, come on! No, you just run the water for a second, and then it's cleansed.
I know
it's purified. Hey, by the way, Rogue Comics had a question earlier that I thought was interesting, and I was gonna. Oh no, just mention about Wedge being back. We haven't really talked about that.
Yeah, they're bringing him back to kill him off. All right, next.
Yep. And we're good. And
they're bringing back Lando to kill him off.
Well, listen, it's closing out the Skywalkers. It's got to reference all the films. So I'm saying Captain Panaka is back.
Panaka.
Hugh, of course, He's
just going to stand there. They're the big offensive at the end. He's just going to. This is a battle I do not think that we can win.
And then he'll yell.
Then Rick O'Lee will be like, that little droid did it.
And then he'll be like, we're setting ducks. Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
But no, remember Garrison was saying something, G-Man was saying something to me about this morning, he said he'd read that JJ had actually been consulting some of George Lucas's original notes on Return of the Jedi before this whole thing started up.
That's the first time I'm hearing of it.
If that's the case, G-Man's usually pretty good on his sources.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then, the original plan was to kill Lando. Blow him up in Death Star 2.
Yeah, to blow him up in the Death Star. Yeah, they don't make it out. But then with that, they would have blown up the Millennium Falcon, and no one wanted that.
Well, yeah.
Well, I remember.
What about now?
I remember going in The Force Awakens. This is what I said going in The Force Awakens. If they Han, I understand that's fine. Harrison Ford always wanted to die. It's going to break my heart to see Luke or Leia die, but if it happens, I get it. But if they blow up the Millennium Falcon, I'm going to be ticked off.
They might.
They better not, Scott.
I mean, but if they do, it's going to elicit a huge emotional response from you.
It's not going to be the emotional response they want. It's going to be the people are booing Roman Reigns. Where are my wrestling fans at? Where are they at? And so, yeah. So yeah, hoping for a C.O. Bibble appearance. It's unthinkable.
I'm enjoying it because before we jumped on the call, Steve, we were talking about like what elements of the prequels might come full circle. Whereas, you know, if it's a full circle kind of film that brings in all the story elements, obviously Palpatine's sort of the go-to thread through the prequels, and then obviously the original trilogy. But I wonder, of course, the Hayden Christensen things come out. What are you thinking as far as what elements J.J. Abrams needs to bring in to kind of make this a final chapter, or at least, or is that all marketing?
I sincerely think that J.J. Abrams has before him a more daunting task than he had with The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
The Force Awakens, we were primed, we were ready for the return of Star Wars films. The enumerated Star Wars films. There was excitement in the air over the Disney buyout. There was all this stuff. And Riley, we were there together for Force Awakens. And you recall, sitting in that theater, sitting in Alamo Drafthouse when it was all over.
Yeah.
Everyone looked at me and what do you think? And I said, and once you went back and got your jacket and found out everything was okay and we were able to talk about it, it was like you were the first people I said this to. You said, what did you think? And I said, what'd you think? And you said, well, I really liked it. I'm like, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Because I had to process what I'd seen. There was just something that didn't quite do it for me. And I don't know if it was the melancholy of seeing Han Solo die. I don't know if it was...
Wait, Han Solo died?
Yes, that's right. I don't really know what it was that caused it. It took me a few times of really seeing it and processing and be like, okay, I like this. Now let's move forward. But I think that the pump was primed for people to like The Force Awakens, and I'm unfortunately, and I said to my audience, before you guys were coming on, you talk about me before I came on the line, before you came on the line, Riley. I said, tonight as we wait for this trailer is not a real, we're not going to hate on The Last Jedi or anything like that, but the truth is, that was such a divisive movie to fandom that what the task before JJ, to go back to your original question, to bring everything full circle, he's got a daunting task, and not just for people to like, but I think that the story elements were a little bit messed up, and Abrams probably wishes he'd have just kind of done the whole trilogy,
But let's also throw in, you talk about this being a tougher task. Remember, J.J. Abrams has a history of opening the box, but not really closing the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm talking about Lost.
Yeah.
You talk about he thought he was going to open the box here in the trilogy and walk away. Did you ever see Mission Impossible 3 that he wrote and directed?
Loved it. Yeah.
Great movie, but at the end, they never really said what they were even after.
That's true. Yeah, it was a great. Yeah. The rabbit split.
Yes, the rabbits. What is it? Well, maybe one day I'll tell you. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been waiting 2 hours. So JJ has a history of not being able to answer the questions. And the only thing we want this movie to do is answer the questions. So it is, you're right, Steve. It is tough for a lot of reasons, but that to me is the biggest of all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't disagree with you there. I think, and like I say, I don't think it's a matter of just wanting the right fan reaction. I think this is a mythology that has to be wrapped up. This is a mythology that has to, this is the modern mythology. And it was introduced, some 40 years ago to us all, and it became a touchstone in popular culture, in culture.
Yeah.
And so to say we're going to put the end cap on this story, and I know there are many other stories to be told, but no one expects the
Spanish Inquisition.
Right. Well, no one.
Sorry.
No, I never saw that one coming. No one expects the Mandalorian to be the mythology, the myth building, myth expanding, myth moving forward vehicle. Nor did they have Rogue One or Solo. Those were basically movies.
Everything else is a side story.
It really is. Here is the mythology, the ultimate hero's journey, all this stuff that comes together now in Episode 9 that, not only do questions have to be answered, Scott, but I feel like there has to be, you've got to have an ending that's at least happy as, half as happy as Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, totally.
And we can't be leaving on a cliffhanger. So
no, he's got to wrap it all up.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's got a tougher job when you think about it than Lucas did with Revenge of the Sith, which was tough because he had a lot of stuff out there hanging. A lot of it he just let walk away.
That's true. And that you know what? If JJ does that with some minor things, I'm okay with that. I think I don't have to have the biography of Sifo Dyas and everything to kind of.
No, but I really needed to know Sifo Dyas.
What's that?
I know, but I really needed to know Sifo Dyas.
I would have
drive me nuts.
I would have liked to got known him, but I knew enough about the plan, and what Dooku had done and what the Emperor had done, and in Sifo Dyas's name, and so I think that that there are some things that we don't. I'm fine if we never know where Snoke came from. Snoke is Snoke.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to know a lot about where Snoke came from. And well, the thing is, they were always pretty clear about where Snoke came from. He was always there. He was a politician. He was in the Senate. They were never not clear about Snoke. It's just people wanted it to be something else.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so. There's like theories. I pulled up a video. This is way back in the press stuff for The Force Awakens before it come out, and someone asked a Q&A about is Plagueis going to show up, and Daisy Ridley kind of leans forward and looks over at JJ and says, "Is that?" And then stop. Which of course, like everyone's like, "Is it Snoke? Yes, she must be Snoke." He must. Of course, this is nobody finds out, and 2 films later, we definitely don't find out. So it's interesting to think of. That's one way to connect him to the larger Star Wars story. And so I could see J.J. Abrams wanting to go that direction. But I think it's not the most important part. The important part is how Rey fits in with the Skywalker saga and what the heck happens to Luke. Those are like the two, I think,
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Luke Skywalker is dead.
Well...
But he disappeared, which means he's going to retain his identity in the Force.
Oh, sure, but I mean, did you not get the Allegiance comic the other day?
No, I don't read Force comics.
It's the first line of the comic. Luke Skywalker is dead.
Long live...
No, it doesn't say that.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know that J.J. Abrams is going to find himself beholden to the comics, no matter what the story group says.
Yeah, or The Last Jedi, for that matter.
Well, it's funny, though, but, Steve was talking a little bit earlier about how Last Jedi might have messed some things up for JJ. Really, when it first came out, one of the reviews I read was somebody said it's the least consequential of all the Star Wars movies. It's the least, the one where the least really happens. And I thought, that's crazy because Luke Skywalker dies. I mean, that's not nothing. But the more I thought about it, I mean, the pieces really don't get moved that far on the board.
Oh, not at all.
And
not
so I think it would be really easy for JJ to pick up those pieces and put them back where he needs them to be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we already know we're going to get a little bit of something about the Knights of Ren. If nothing else, they'll be maybe standing in Kylo's throne room or something, like the Emperor's Royal Guard or some such. But, we know that there's going to be the Sith Trooper stuff. They're going back to the site of some Death Star that's been blown up and down. Everyone assumes it's Death Star 2, but there's no guarantee that they're not going to Yavin 4 kind of situation. I feel like based on the, if J.J. Abrams really wants to carry out the symmetry of storytelling of a George Lucas, it would be Endor they'd be going to.
Yeah.
That was a place we saw her and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And they had a Tatooine planet in the first one.
Yeah.
The salt planet certainly looked very Hothy.
Right, right.
And so, you go to an Endori or a forest planet. Yeah.
Endori, yeah.
Endorian
Tip-Yip. It's the new service now serving at Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, no, they changed that.
Oh, yeah. No, now it's just the chicken thing.
Yeah, because people are too stupid to have fun at an amusement park.
They changed the names. Yes.
Yeah, they sure did. Steve, are you looking forward to making it out to Galaxy's Edge? Is that something on your radar?
Not really.
Okay.
I want to, but it's not on the radar right now. We don't know when we'll be able to go down.
Yeah.
But we know we want to at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. You're fine. It's in beta. Wait till Rise of the Resistance opens and
well, and I'm just going to be honest with you. There is a part of me that's like, come on, there's more to Star Wars than the sequel trilogy.
Than the Endorian Tip-Yip.
We want to go. I said it. So I'm sorry. I said it's not on the radar yet. We don't know when we'd be going.
It's already started. That's what I'm telling you. It's already started.
It's serious stuff. You can't just come in here interrupting things. It's serious.
I told you.
This
coming.
Is real life.
I warned you guys all at the beginning of this.
So I got to figure out what's going on with my sound.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's. I was just curious because it is. I mean, it's great. It's beautifully designed and stuff. But there's a reason that it's gotten mixed reviews. It's just not finished. And it's not what they. It's also not
December 13th.
Yeah,
we're going December 13th through 15th. Thanks for asking, Riley.
Oh, I thought you'd already been. That's right. It's not.
No, I haven't been.
It's all right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Rifin, I thought you'd already been down too.
Oh, okay. I feel better.
No.
Yeah.
No, we're waiting until everything's done.
Okay.
We're gonna go for our anniversary trip.
Nice.
Well, there shouldn't be but about a 10-minute wait and all the rides at that point. Then.
Yeah, getting there.
I saw a post. I saw you post on Twitter, Scott. The comparison. Even I think it was a week ago, pretty recently, between the Avatar Flight of Passage and Smuggler's Run. And I think it
amazes me.
It's like 2 hours still for Flight of Passage in the middle of the day. We're still under an hour for Smuggler's Run, which it's a dang shame. It's a great ride. I love Smuggler's Run.
I don't think it's a dang shame. I think it's a great thing that you don't have to go and wait for.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, you know what? We should be celebrating.
Yeah, no, that's what I think Andrew Loopy was like. Why do you want to wait so long and ride? I'm like, I don't want to. I'm just doing a comparison because I know how this goes. I mean, when the Frozen ride opened, it was 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Star Wars ride opens, it's like 50, 55 minutes, 90 on a bad day. Don't worry about it.
So basically the size comparison of the Frozen displays at Walmart to Triple Force Friday.
Well, yeah, very similar. Yes.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But you know what, guys? That's fine. Listen, I like Star Wars the most when it was just kind of when we were still fringe fan,
I'm okay with that, right? I'm exactly okay with that, Steve. I think I like the idea of we don't have to be the big game in town. Let's just fly under the radar.
Listen, Star Wars will always be a cultural touchstone for American and worldwide pop culture. It'll always be that way. And for those of us who are into the minutia, like we will eventually get back to the days when they do Star Wars Celebration, people aren't waiting all night to get into the panel. It'll be like it was several years ago, Riley, when we just kind of walked in at the end of the line into the Mark Hamill panel and just got seats up in the upper deck kind of thing, and we'll get back to that again. And it's just a matter of time and things kind of cooling off. There will be continued content like there was with the Clone Wars, and there'll be more movies, more Star Wars stories, and Mandalorian season 2, and of course this Kenobi show that's coming up. So we know we're going to get plenty of content, but I don't think that it's going to ever be able to have the same hype that it's had with 7, 8, and 9. Drop the mic and walk away.
I don't know if I've recently told that story on the podcast. I still love that moment in time of Star Wars Celebration 2012 in Orlando, of just Steve Glosson all day really just riffing on the fact that episode 7, 8. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But it was amazing. It was just like you were right on, and you didn't even know. It was beautiful.
No, I was trying to get everyone else hyped up for it.
Which celebration is this?
This was. Which one was it? Celebration
6?
6?
Yeah, 6.
Okay, I didn't know you guys yet.
No, you didn't.
But I was there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you guys.
Yeah.
Well, they were talking about the closing ceremonies. There's going to be a big announcement, that sort of thing. And the announcement ended up being Celebration Europe would be in Germany.
And everybody was like, and I was like, really? We waited in line for this?
Well, everyone was that way. And what we found out just a few months later is Disney had sold. They were doing 7, 8, and 9. And I think that Lucas initially wanted to announce 7, 8, and 9 at those closing ceremonies. But didn't have
the deal stuck. But
he didn't have everything in place.
Yeah.
And decided to, and then in the subsequent weeks went ahead with the Disney thing.
In fact, if I may, Steve, here's a little flashback in time.
It's going to be George up on the screen. He's just going to go 7, 8, 9.
I saved that for posterity.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, guys, I've got to run and bring some other people in. Yeah, I've got other people coming on Geek Out Loud. But thank you guys so much for being on Geek Out Loud.
Thank you, man.
But it's the couch.
It's not big enough. It's not big enough, Scott.
I don't have room on my couch.
Yeah.
For everyone. Sorry, Scott.
That's fine.
Scott, you
hang up with Riley and call me back. He's got like Mark and people.
Yeah. We'll make. You'll get Scott here in like 5 minutes.
All right.
I didn't realize he was done with me already.
Star Wars Report. StarWarsReport.com. Riley, tell Bethany I said hello, and I can't wait to meet Savannah.
Oh, I'll tell her. I'll tell both of them. Thank you.
All right. We'll see you, man.
Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
All right. Wow. That's we can stick around, Scott.
No, that was cold, Riley, man. Wow.
I'm looking at my. I've planned this show. I did so much prep. I've got. Let me see who's coming up next.
Well, you say that. You say you did so much prep, but nothing that's happening tonight was what you said was going to happen.
I didn't say we were executing on the prep I did. I just said I did prep. Let's see. So we have overdue. We have Aaron Goins and also let's see. I don't know if he'll. Let's see if we can get him in. Aaron Goins and then the one and only Bruce Gibson are slated to come up. So we'll see if they can.
I'll free up the mic. Whatever you got to do. But,
well, no, don't leave unless they come on, because then I've got to talk for 45 minutes by myself and like. Listen, you never know with these people. It's like this. You schedule things, and they.
I'm the backup.
No, you were the lead-in. I think that's a better way to put it.
So that was the opening act.
That doesn't work either.
No.
Rural Farms Boy is a big fan in the chat, though. So there you go.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday!
Happy
Rural
birthday!
Farms.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see, Brew. Let me see if I can figure out how to add. Add Mr. Bruce Gibson to the call. I think I added him to the chat, but it didn't. Oh my gosh!
I'm gone now.
Oh well, hang on.
Huh? Bailed on me already.
No. No. I'm here.
Hello, everyone. I'm not here anymore.
No, you're here. You're here.
Adam Mark Leonard said something interesting earlier too. I'm going to look at his. Oh yeah, he said speaking of soundtracks, the episode 9 soundtrack is not available for pre-order yet.
Oh yeah. Do you think spoilers? Do you think what's?
Well, they could solicit it without a track listing. It happens all the time. Why? I don't understand why that's the case.
Weird.
They can certainly solicit it without a track listing.
Maybe
they have not.
So didn't the Last Jedi soundtrack come out like after the movie instead of before, or was that? Am I totally making that up?
My recollection is everything was day of.
Yeah. Yeah, because
it's got novelization for sale.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Oh, let's see. Let's see if we got him. There he is, Mr. Bruce Gibson.
Am I here? Am I here?
Hi. Welcome.
How's it going?
Welcome to the party, sir.
Oh wait. Okay, I'm trying to get my mic right.
Wait, hang on.
Oh.
Top 5 answers are on the board. Survey says. That's my Louis Anderson.
I was gonna say, wait, that's supposed to be Louis.
And a very specific reference to a Rogue Transmissions exclusively available on our Patreon at patreon.com/Star Wars Report. If you enjoyed this live stream and Star Wars Report content, you can jump in and get more content on our Patreon, patreon.com/Star Wars Report. Thanks for the intro, Scott. That was a great little...
You're welcome.
I really reached to make that transition, but it worked
good.
out. Bruce, it's been a humdinger of a night so far already. We were talking to...
I tuned in a couple of times, but I had the audio off. I just saw your mouths moving.
Just my mug.
Actually, I saw Scott's mouth moving, and Riley was just staring.
Just like...
He's fixed.
That's normal. That's normal.
Yeah, listen.
You should see when he comes here for a visit.
It's a reaction video, really. Basically, it's me. The last segment was me reacting to Scott and Steve talk. That was the last.
I wondered if Steve was on because I thought I saw something that said that. Is he on now? He's not on now.
No. He found out you were coming.
Yeah. I know. I was gonna say he makes an appearance and then he hears I'm coming on. I gotta go.
Yep. That's exactly how it goes.
He's with Louis right now.
So true. That's so true. Well, Bruce, let me see where you're at. The first thing I think you should we snagged tickets successfully. How was the process of buying tickets night of for Rise of Skywalker.
So just so you know, it's kind of disconnected. So it wasn't until you text me about getting tickets, I'm like, oh, okay. And I go on, and I see everybody just going like, I'm buying my tickets. Oh my gosh, 5 minutes, 4 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a thing. I didn't know it was a thing. Like, you know?
Oh, what's the thing?
Like everybody was like 8 o'clock is when all the tickets were on sale. I didn't know that. And so everybody was in this big rush. That was the thing.
Bruce,
so I'm like, oh, I need to do this. What?
You've become so laissez-faire about Star Wars, and I love it.
Well, you know why?
Like, I heard tickets were sometime somewhere. I don't know.
Because I've gotten so comfortable that I know how to work this thing, so I'm cool about it. You know, I can get in. Don't worry. It's going to happen. And it did. So I went into the AMC app, and it said 25-minute wait. But then I switched to another app, and it took me out of the queue. I didn't know I had to sit there and just stare at my phone for 25 minutes. So then I went to the AMC website and said 1 minute wait. And so I got some really nice seats at 5 o'clock.
Oh, sweet
fan event. I've never been to a Star Wars fan
I've never been to a Star Wars fan event either. Well, I mean, I've been to Star Wars Celebrate, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know, did
but
you
the
get
movie premiere fan event?
Hey, Aaron Goins, did you get into a fan event? Did you get tickets for the Rise of Skywalker? Also, welcome to the podcast, Mr. Aaron Goins.
I did. I got the 6 p.m. showing fan event at the theater closest to me.
Nice.
What does the fan event consist of?
I have no idea.
They give you a little, they give you a pin.
Yeah, you get a gift. If you go to I think if you go to AMC, you get a poster. If you go to Regal, you get a pin. But really, it's just an excuse to charge you a little bit more money.
And you pay more for a ticket. Our tickets were $25 each.
Is it? Oh my god!
What?
Jeez.
Yeah, $25
My
a ticket.
gosh, man. That's
you do get in an hour before the regular showings. Too.
Yeah,
so that's true.
That's true. That's a special perk.
Merry Christmas, Riley.
Thank you. I'll Venmo you. Appreciate you, sir. Yeah, no, it'll be a fun time. Are you as excited, Aaron? Were you worried about tickets at all, or was there any trouble?
I was a little worried. I mean, I knew I'd be able to get a seat somewhere. There's enough theaters around here. If I lower my standards, I knew I'd be able to get in somewhere. But William Devereaux, I'll give him props. He had thrown into a group chat, kind of that tickets had gone up already, and it was not even 8 o'clock yet. So I think people weren't even looking.
Yeah.
And so by the time, literally, when I booked my seats at the theater I'm going to, no one else had booked seats in that theater yet.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I got the first 2 seats.
So did you get a nice theater, or are you going to a really nice one?
I'm going to go to one of the nicer ones in this area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Aaron. I've been wanting to ask for a while. So in my video blog of Star Wars Celebration, way back in 17? 17. In Anaheim, California, there's this moment where I pan the camera over right after they've just shown us the debut trailer of The Last Jedi. Aaron's grinning because he knows exactly the moment I'm talking about. And I pan the camera over to you, and it's time for the Jedi to end. And then I just pan over, and your eyebrow raises a little bit. You're like, I don't know about this. We've been talking a lot about what J.J. Abrams quotes, where he talks about how this is the time to bring the complete saga, prequels, original trilogy, and sequels, to a close and wrap everything up in a way that's satisfying. That's a word I've seen him use a couple times recently. For you, Aaron Goins, I feel like that element of the Jedi is something that is pretty important to you for Rise of Skywalker. What do you hope to see in the trailer, or maybe if they don't show it in the final film, as far as the concept of the Jedi Order, what it means to be a Jedi, when we're talking about the Rise of Skywalker?
Oh man, that's such a complicated question.
That's what you call a 2-minute setup too. It's like all the setup.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so much of my love of Star Wars is around the Jedi, and so it's kind of like when they kind of mess with what I kind of like to see from those characters. It can definitely change the way I feel about a movie. I mean, The Last Jedi, definitely not my favorite, because I'm a big Luke Skywalker fan and just didn't love what they did with his character. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this final movie as far as the Jedi are concerned. I know a lot of people are thinking they're going to kind of reinvent what Jedi means, or maybe they're going to rename what the Order is altogether. I don't know that Lucasfilm will go that direction with it, just because they know that that's such an identity of what kind of what Star Wars is, and I don't think they're going to mess with the formula too much.
Yeah. Let's rebrand something we spent eight previous movies branding a certain way.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
But is there a way to incorporate? Because a lot of the stuff I'm seeing is theorizing that the Skywalker is the element there, because just simply by the title, the Rise of Skywalker also sort of means the rise of a new Jedi, pun slightly intended, new Jedi Order. I don't know. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it at this point. Bruce? Sorry, I walked over.
I wasn't paying attention.
It's like, okay, back to Aaron.
I mean, I think that kind of like Scott was saying, you don't really want to rebrand something that they've been working so long to establish. And I do see what people are saying, and you know what? I'm keeping my mind open, because I kind of went into The Last Jedi with certain expectations, and then it probably ruined the movie for me. So with this movie, I'm really kind of just keeping my mind wide open, thinking, you know what? I may think it's going to go a certain way. It might not. And I just need to go in kind of cool with whatever. So maybe I'm way off base on this, but I just don't see that as what they're trying to accomplish here, where they're going to say, okay, now the term Jedi is no longer, and now Skywalker means, these Force users. I just think that's a weird way to go with it. And I think that's kind of wishful thinking on certain people's part. So it's not how I think it's going to go. I'd bet against it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just went and bought tickets.
Oh, sweet. No problems. No problems. What's theater chain, if you don't mind the shout out?
Georgia Theater Company.
Oh, okay. Hey, that's our local theater. Huh.
Yeah.
Small.
I just jumped right on. Now the funny thing was they had. Well, I mean, they own everything here. They're actually headquartered here, by the way.
Oh.
But they do have fan events listed. But then when I clicked, it said, "We have nothing for your market," and then it said, "You are lower than low."
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. So I have no fan event in Brunswick, but
lower than low. Well, you're not that far from the Low Country, so.
Well, yeah, it's up the road from us. See, we have to go up to get to the Low Country.
Right.
I'm looking.
You're really low.
Yeah.
I have my tweet deck open, like you do, and I'm just monitoring the situation. Regal and AMC are experiencing outages. To some extent. It looks like AMC's the one I'm seeing the most that's getting hit as far as outages go.
Yeah. I had zero problem just now with Georgia Theater Company. None.
Yeah.
Sometimes the trick is to go through like the main website for a specific theater and not go through something like Fandango. I had some friends that were getting locked up in Fandango, and I was like, just go straight to the Regal website, and they were able to get right in.
Yeah, Fandango
that's what I did with Georgia Theater.
Fandango famously crashed with the Force Awakens. The Atom tickets, which is they're no Fandango, but they're one of the bigger secondary ticket markets, and they just announced literally on their holy cow, they just literally posted this now. Atom tickets announced that Rise of Skywalker has sold more tickets in the first hour of pre-sales than any other film in the company's history, beating Avengers Endgame.
No, that can't be, because with The Last Jedi, like, there's all this fan backlash. Nobody's going to want to go see this, so there's no way that can happen, Riley.
You're
just saying.
You're wrong, sir. You're wrong.
Those 10 people are still boycotting.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm excited. I think it'll be interesting to see where Rey fits into all of this. And I think this is where J.J. Abrams, this is what he built the suspense of The Force Awakens on. I mean, The Force Awakens, the suspense is really sort of, who are you? Literally, Maz Kanata asked the question in the trailer, who are you? Yeah. To Rey. And the other question of, where is Luke Skywalker? And then I feel
you actually ask a really good question.
I try.
Oh, wow.
Which is, or you raise a really good question, which is, how much of this material that we see in the trailer tonight is not right?
Like 50%, if not more.
Yeah, based on trends.
Yeah. How much of it was faked just to have a trailer?
Well, I think that goes back to Aaron's point. I mean, it's like you don't want to get so caught up in analyzing the trailer, which I know we will do anyway, but then you go in with an expectation and then it doesn't turn out that way and it can disappoint you.
Yeah, fun thing, when the trailer comes out, we're actually ending the broadcast. No.
Wait, what?
No.
Do you think that they'll do like intentional misdirects? They haven't really done that with Star Wars trailers in the past. I mean, I know we had scenes in the Rogue One trailer that didn't end up in the movie, but that was more because of cuts, you know.
Well, no. Wait. That TIE fighter shot was deliberately created by the marketing department. The TIE fighter on the gantry. No, just because it looked cool.
Oh, okay.
TIE fighter on the gantry was literally the marketing department said, we really like this in the trailer. Could you do that for us?
Like,
because I know with The Last Jedi, there were a couple scenes where people are like, oh, that's got to be a misdirect. You know, when Luke says something about the Jedi must end, or when
that is true.
Kylo Ren takes a shot at the
that is
ship or whatever.
That is misdirection right there. Yeah, juxtaposing those two scenes. I remember we had our friend.
But
Will.
They're not a lie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to put it. They're not going to reveal anything in this trailer that's going to ruin the story. So they're gonna cut it in a certain way that it's not going to give anything away necessarily, but I don't think they're going to purposely try to like trick us.
No, I'm just curious because there's so much, you know how these movies are. There's so much footage that winds up getting you, so many scenes you keep talking about that, Luke cutting a bar into 10 pieces on Dagobah. Big scenes that everybody remembers were in the film that weren't there. There's just so many things out there footage-wise that wind up not making the cut. And it seems like more and more of it winds up in the trailers these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're not going to get the Kylo Ren Rey makeout scene in the trailer. They're going to
not the trailer.
So it's going to just be wow. Aaron's spicy tonight.
Yeah, Reylo forever.
I'll tell you what I want in this trailer. I know it probably isn't going to happen, but I don't want anything to deceive us or misdirect us, and I don't want them to hold back. Like I don't worry if I don't care if they spoil something. Like I'm just making something up.
Yeah.
If for some reason Qui-Gon actually shows in this movie, go ahead and show him in the trailer. Let me know that something big like that's like where I'm like blown away from the trailer, where it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go. So
you're making the Thor Ragnarok argument that we're gonna show the freaking Hulk bust out at the end of the trailer, so everybody knows this is going to be a big freaking moment instead of preserving it for the film. Which is funny because most of the time I hear people say, man, it would have been so cool if you went into Thor Ragnarok and didn't know Bruce Banner was a big part of the movie.
But would you have gone?
And see, that's the practical... I mean, the answer is yes, because it's a Marvel, but not as many people would go.
Some people, though. Yeah. Some people would have gone, I'm passing this one. Wait, Hulk's there?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What? So let's speculate. What would... What fits for the general public a moment like the Hulk busting out in this trailer that is really going to cement, hey, you have to see this movie if you have any interest in Star Wars or just popular culture?
Harrison Ford, Han Solo.
Wait, really? Huh. Interesting.
I mean, it'd be weird
if they actually show the Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just the voice.
I do agree with Darth Vader too, for sure.
Vader.
Absolutely, yes. Vader. Yes.
Yeah. It'd be like a kind of a slight middle finger to the previous director, but freaking Luke Skywalker and Anakin Skywalker in some ethereal force form together. Like that would
Jake
be
Lloyd.
Spock.
Now that would that would bring in the masses.
Let me ask you this question, too, and this is going to be kind of a real nerd question.
Yeah, hit me. Listen, we got to burn the next 20 minutes, so...
Star Wars is not necessarily a... Next 20 minutes? It was 4:45.
25, yeah. Oh, really? I don't have ESPN up. I'm just waiting for the train.
Oh, okay. Oh, I got
by the way,
up.
quick shout out on Twitter. Jason Fry said, "Hey, Star Wars fans watching ESPN right now, please understand that whatever the Jets are doing can only vaguely be described as football."
Yes.
I know. I'm disappointed that this is the game.
I was going to say the Star Wars historically not a big sell in China, and that really, really happened with Last Jedi. Really tanked in China.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we do a lot of talking about Force ghosts. One of the things they don't really permit in Chinese films is ghosts. So I'm just curious, and it may be that they find a way to describe it so that they're not ghosts, but I'm just curious, do we expect a ton, knowing that they're still trying to crack China, do we expect a ton of Force ghosts?
I don't know, because I keep going back and forth. I don't know if we get... The Hayden thing just seems like a bridge too far.
Really? And I believe in it.
Yeah, I do too.
Aaron, back me up. I feel like you can be a cynic with me.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised if people were in it?
I'd be surprised if we see Hayden.
Yeah, I mean, I it's not like crazy out there, but when I hear people theorizing about Hayden and about like how Palpatine comes back, or if Qui-Gon Jinn, or how Luke Skywalker as a Force ghost fits in, like all of these are Force ghosts or ethereal forms of some form or another.
I'm gonna go you one better.
Yeah,
Reynikin.
With the what?
Reynikin.
Reynikin. I don't.
Yeah,
I'm not.
She gets romantic with Anakin. Rey and Anakin have a thing instead of Reylo. It's Reynikin.
I'm this close to hitting the dump button on this whole live stream now.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
I have the Reylo and the Dang it! The Rey and Kylo Funko Pops. And but I'm live on the internet, so I won't be weird. But they're friends. They're friends. They're friends. See, they're just friends. They're just friends, people.
That's a George thing.
Although Savannah has already been making them make out several times.
Yep. See. See.
She's
then why to go to the movie? You can just watch that.
Those are Rise of Skywalker pops.
Yeah,
too.
listen. I did some Triple Force Friday stuff. Yeah, so I'll put them on the screen. You see, it's the Kylo is the kind of repaired helmet kind of thing, and then Rey has this super epic pose. It's pretty freaking cool. Although
I can't see you, Riley. Are you on video?
Oh, it's YouTube.com/Star Wars Report.
I'll have to go to YouTube.
Yeah, you gotta work.
You gotta use some better software
to see. Listen, it's working. This live stream. I haven't live streamed in like 7 years. It feels like.
We need to talk because I have new live stream solutions for you.
Oh,
So are just you on YouTube, or are we all on YouTube?
No, listen. You're all on YouTube. Yeah.
Even Aaron does
my contract.
It's like that's well, we've talked about what are some of the side characters that you guys want to see have the light of day, because I feel like it's easy to let the saga as it unfolds. Like hit me.
I mean, it's not that exciting probably, but Maz Kanata, and I don't want it to be, because I'm sure she's under contract for these films. I don't want it to be just this quick little cameo like we had in The Last Jedi. I want her to have some significant thing to do, or not be in there at all. Just don't throw her in there just to have her in there.
Yeah, I wonder. I could see her, because of how much stuff was shot in The Force Awakens, including scenes with Leia. Maybe Maz Kanata fits in with the Resistance there at some point. Because there's the whole scene where she gives Leia the lightsaber, right? That was famously deleted, if I'm remembering correct.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so that'd be kind of cool to see. I don't know, Aaron, any of the new characters that you want to see have their moment?
I'm not necessarily new characters, but I'm hoping that Finn doesn't get pushed to the background. I really like his character, and I know everyone's kind of focusing on what's going to happen with Kylo and Rey, and I hope Finn doesn't kind of get pushed to the background. I hope he has an important thing to do, not just going to a casino planet. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was pretty convinced he was going to have the hero sacrifice moment in The Last Jedi. I was ready for it. I was expecting it.
Yeah, and then Rose ruined it.
That is one thing. The first time we watched The Last Jedi, I do remember, Bruce, you sitting next to me, quite literally, and be like, "Come on!"
I know. I love Finn, but I was like, "Man, this is a great moment."
Mm-hmm.
His sacrifice, and then she, but love, and I'm like, "Oh, come on!"
Such a cynic.
Well, but the part that always got me, I know we're not supposed to rag, but the part that always got me was that she plowed into him with no expectation that either one of them should survive that in order to save him.
Wouldn't that be funny if she killed him?
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah, what if she killed him?
Save what you love.
Save what you love
for later.
Scott.
Oh, well. But I'm glad he's still around. I have to thank Rose for doing that because we have Finn in another movie. And Rose will be in the movie, too.
Yeah.
Yes. But just not the merchandise.
Yeah. Well,
that's right, yeah.
Evidently.
I'll tell you, though, I did have to go buy, you want to talk about Triple Force Friday? I did have to go buy a Zori Bliss. I have a Zori Bliss.
You have a Zori Bliss?
I have a Zori Bliss.
Is that a particularly difficult medical condition?
It sounds like a skin condition.
It's on the bottom of my foot too. That's the worst part.
I've been all my half marathon. Okay, we're stopping this. There was a Zori Bliss cosplayer at Dragon Con that was pretty great. But that's what's the actress's name? What's
Felicity?
What's no?
Yeah.
I can't think of it. I'm
Gary Russell. Felicity.
Thank you. I don't know.
I'm kind of surprised that they have so many new characters, to be honest. I feel like, in the third movie, we already have a pretty big cast, and suddenly they're adding in, they're bringing Lando in, so he's going to have something to do.
Yeah.
And then you have Zori Bliss, and you have, is it Zara? Jana? The other girl. Jana.
Mm-hmm.
You got her, you got a new little droid.
Yep.
It's kind of like, okay, do we need, I kind of want to focus on the characters we're already familiar with and not necessarily have to care about all these new characters.
Yeah. But let's not forget the Chief Chirpa and the Ewoks. Like, in Return of the Jedi, we had room for Ewoks. So maybe we have room for, I don't know.
Oh, no. I mean, look, in the prequel trilogy, we had room for Captain Panaka and Rick O'Lee. And
did we?
Did we, though?
Yeah.
I just rewatched The Phantom Menace. I'm doing this whole thing where I'm going to try to watch one Star Wars saga movie a week until The Rise of Skywalker.
Nice.
I just watched The Phantom Menace.
Nice.
And I was joking with my friend I was watching with, how Rick O'Lee, everybody thought he was going to be such a big deal, and he ended up not being. But he actually has a lot of screen time and a lot of lines. I kind of had forgotten how much.
Yeah, he's not really do a lot. He just has a lot of lines.
Well, but listen, he
doesn't do anything important. He's a pretty bad actor.
Known by his
in the movie a lot.
Yeah, but also known by his alternative name, Captain Obvious. It's Coruscant. The entire planet's a city. You can see it right there. It's funny. It's so funny you say that, Aaron, because we literally, when I first brought Scott on for the first segment, and he has somehow been stuck around this whole podcast. I can't get rid of him. But I was talking to you a while ago, but I read this article that I was talking about the Phantom Menace and prequel fans versus the upcoming Force Awakens at the time that had just been announced, and how I sort of nail how people will put in their very specific high expectations and will instead be very disappointed and bitter about what the Disney films are. And except for, of course, the very last line, which is basically me saying, and George Lucas is doing the treatments, and I'm sure they're going to use it. I'm Riley Blanton in 2012. I'm really smart. And but it is funny when you think about the Phantom Menace and high expectations. You can't match that hype. Even Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, there's just no way to match that hype. And I was a guy when the Force Awakens in the lead up, I wanted a piece of what, when I talked to you guys, the Phantom Menace was, of that level of excitement. And it just never quite hit that level. But
really,
maybe that's a good thing.
I kind of felt like Force Awakens did, but
yeah, I just
because
for me it surpassed.
Oh, really?
The Phantom Menace. I think because of where I was in my life at the time. Phantom Menace, I saw it when I was 19.
Yeah.
And, I didn't really grow up with the original trilogy. I kind of discovered them later. But I was so invested in Star Wars by the time The Force Awakens came around, and we never thought we were...
Nope.
And so the fact that I was going to see Luke Skywalker again, I was going to see Han Solo again, that was a bigger deal to me than the Phantom Menace.
Well, I mean, just look at, I hate to do this, but look at the numbers.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you look at the obscene numbers that Force Awakens pulled in and kept pulling in. I mean, to me, it says there was a level of sustained excitement that I think surpassed the Phantom Menace.
That's true. I'm wrong, guys. I can admit it. Well, I think for me, in that process, I expected some sort of magical moment for for fans I back in the 90s. But Star Wars hadn't been gone as long, but I think it was still certainly a big moment. Well, let me ask you this: you just watched it, Aaron, A Phantom Menace. How does Rise of Skywalker fit into the picture with you, as far as your level of hype?
I think my hype's been tampered down a bit just because of The Last Jedi and kind of I got so hyped for that one, and then I kind of came crashing down. So I'm going in this one really tentative. Yeah, so it's definitely not anywhere near the level of like I was excited for The Force Awakens. But because it's the same director as The Force Awakens, there is like it's my hype, my hope is dialed up a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, listen, as Felicity Jones once said so well, rebellions are built on hope. So that's my contribution to the conversation. Man.
He's saying things.
I'm saying words and things. Let's see. Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when this trailer drops because I'm like upstairs by my mic, which is connected. I can't take it anywhere. It's connected to my desk, and then my TV's downstairs with the game going.
I'm gonna
just have to run down there.
I'm gonna give everyone permission to go actually watch the trailer on their preferred screen. I will boot it up here on the stream. For everybody tuning in now, we're gonna boot up. I'll boot it up and we'll watch it on the stream. And as you guys finish it, you can come back on the show and comment. So, I put some planning into this portion of the podcast. And yeah, for everybody tuning in, and we've got a lot more of you guys because we are within about 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna say 10, 15 minutes. Probably. I don't know.
How do we know this? Do we know for sure that's dropping right at halftime at the start?
I saw it on Twitter.
Okay. I just wonder. I remember it doing that before previous year. I just didn't know if that was officially
based on trends on what I'm seeing on Twitter. It looks like that'll be the case. So we'll play it here.
What's the time on the game?
There's a minute 53.
Oh, okay. All right.
Patriots 24, Jets 0.
Oh, wow.
Just give me a heads up when it hits halftime so I can vacate this room and go downstairs.
No, that works. And that's what if you guys are tuned in, that's the way we'll do it. It's not going to be a long show or anything. We're going to do our sort of first hit roundtable reactions, what jumps out to us most, and then we'll be coming back later in the week or next week for our full kind of breakdown. So it's just going to be first impressions here on the screen. Well, I have been kind of ignoring the chat, catching up a little bit. Let's see, from Kenny, he says TFA did reach that level of hype, and that seems to be the prevailing thing. Is that Riley was wrong on that one, which is okay.
No, I was with you, Riley. I just didn't say it.
Oh,
Thanks,
man. Thanks for the backup.
I just feel like the marketplace with the Phantom Menace just seemed to be like Phantom Menace was everywhere in the marketplace. Yeah. Well, I don't remember it quite that way with The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was more hype with the Phantom Menace, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Latest from Adam, the game sucks. So evidently not the best game to watch.
Well, that's true, too.
But listen, that's why I thought about like trying to have ESPN on at the same time, but they always drop the trailer right at the same time. So I'm not particularly worried about it at the time. I don't know. Maybe I wonder if we'll get an updated poster. God, I hope so. Maybe not tonight, but that poster that they put out at Celebration, it wasn't great. The weird animated toy Palpatine looking one. It was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Were you there, Aaron? You were there. Did you got to have the poster in person? Did you like it?
I don't have the poster. I kind of forget what it looks like, to be honest.
Oh, it's the
I just
one...
remember people ragging on the Emperor looking kind of weird, and then somebody found where they pulled the image from.
Hot Toys. They pulled it from a Hot Toys like promo image.
It does take away from it because I didn't have any negative feelings about the poster. I remember seeing it and thinking it looked cool, but then people started pointing that out. They're like, "Oh, he doesn't look great. He looks kind of cartoony." And then somebody found where they pulled the image from, and it did kind of take away from the design a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, that feels like they should have done something original for a movie poster."
What if they actually are using a plastic toy for Palpatine in this movie? It's almost like Robot Chicken. And JJ really shocks us.
Like his spirit just like kind of has gone into this toy.
A sort of 3 3/4 spirit, if you will.
Directed by Seth Green.
So you guys bringing this back to the trailer for a second.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys are just going to wait and catch it online. Is that correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Although they usually drop at the same time.
Yeah, somebody just posted the way they're going to do it on the football is they're going to have Charlie Puth perform a song first. But they're going to have Charlie Puth perform a song, and then they do the trailer.
Gotcha. Although I got all of your points there, Scott, but Skype slowed you to like Charlie Puth will perform.
No, that was me. I was just doing Jimmy Stewart.
So wait, Charlie Puth is singing song.
Charlie Puth. We have to sit through Charlie Puth.
When I see the trailer again. Wow. All right. Well. All right.
This is how old I am. I don't even know who that is.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm kidding. He's the dude from the Fast and Furious song. When I see you again.
I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Oh my gosh. But it was like the number one. Never mind.
I second that.
Yeah.
Never seen a Fast and Furious.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, that's one of the ones that kind of talked about. That's something we haven't talked about. And Fast and Furious reminded me, so it was good for something. A lot of the first kind of hot takes on Leia's presence in the film brought up comparisons to the way that they. What was the Paul? What is his last name? I can't remember the actor's name, but one of the main actors. The way,
Walker.
Yeah, Paul Walker, who passed away during the filming. They had to come up with some creative ways to finish his story, and they did it brilliantly and beautifully. As a big fan of the franchise, I know none of you guys care, but it was really well done. But it was like it was one of the ways that you can. I know Bruce is snoring. Have a comparison for how to respectfully close out a character story when you don't have that actor anymore. Do you guys think we will see any of Carrie Fisher in the trailer?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
More than what we've seen.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she may actually say something.
Yeah. Is that because it's funny, so funny that we've literally been talking about this movie in one form or fashion for an hour and a half now, and we haven't even talked about Carrie Fisher's role. And it's because I don't really know how they fit that in with everything else they're trying to wrap up. Aaron, thoughts? Or Scott?
No, let Aaron do it. I have said lots tonight.
This is one of the things I'm most curious about, because when you're trying, you can't craft exactly what you want her to say or do because you're using old footage. So you have to kind of work around that. And it is going to be interesting to see how big of a role they're able to make her play, because I'm sure initially it sounds like the plan for this movie was for her to have a much bigger role.
Yeah. It's supposed to be her movie.
Right. And so I think that they're going to still try to put her in it as much as they can, but they're very limited. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of figure that one out. They say they're not going to do anything, like they're not going to digitally create a version of her. They already said they're not going to do that, so they can only work with what they have.
Yeah.
Let me ask an insensitive question. They're going to have to do some looping, and maybe to make the story fit, write some new dialogue, and they're going to have to find a voice double for her. Do they do it in a respectful way and give her a better voice than she had in those final days? Or do they do something consistent with what she had? She didn't sound good.
Well, I mean, she sounded different.
She sounded different and bad.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think that you have to be pretty limited in what you do, because you can't go too far left or right of what her performance was in The Last Shadow or The Force Awakens. So I don't think they make that change. I do. Maybe they do some voice doubling, but I just don't know. I think
they'll have to.
It depends on how limited. I think the smarter route is to be respectfully distant from the character and give the character a meaningful, significant, but as far as like time, and level of like digital creation or like cutting around old footage, keep that to a minimum, because that it becomes a gimmick. Like Tarkin, I mean, as much as it's incredible technology, Tarkin in Rogue One kind of feels like a gimmick. Like he's not specifically, I mean, he's part of the narrative, but he's not like a significant part of the story.
No, Tarkin was, do you think we can get away with this? And then they did.
Yeah. But it still had the sort of uncanny valley effect. So I think to be respectful of the character this soon after Carrie Fisher's passing, you have to keep that amount of play limited.
No,
Yeah,
I don't disagree with that. I just wonder, because I do feel like they're going to have to do some. I do feel like they're going to have to do some kind of looping, some kind of vocal cleanup, and I just wonder if they'll shade it on the nicer, younger side of Carrie, or if they'll try to do. But I almost feel like somebody doing an impression of the way she sounded in those last couple of movies, straight up sound disrespectful, even if it's accurate.
Yeah, that's true, and you can and there were some subtle but different. There were noticeable differences in her performance in Last Jedi versus Force Awakens too. And if they're using footage from Force Awakens, you imagine they're using dialogue from Force Awakens. So I would imagine it would match that more closely than it would anything in the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But
and we'll probably never know as far as what lines aren't her.
No.
You know, they don't tend to reveal when they do voice doubling and stuff, so I don't think we'll even know. And they're gonna want to match it as close as they can, so you don't know.
But could they just get somebody to young it up a tiny little bit and then just wipe the slate clean and have them redo the whole thing?
Like every movie or all three movies?
No, just this one, just all of her dialogue in this one.
I don't know. They made it kind of a big point that they weren't gonna, they were gonna use existing stuff, and they really weren't wanting to add additional stuff. Out of
but I
respect
think
for
the
her
dialogue's
and
a
her
little
family.
different, and you also have to remember. Yeah, and you also have to remember though that these are the guys who kept insisting they were going all practical in Force Awakens, and there's so much digital it's not even funny.
yeah,
So,
there's a certain I don't know. There's a certain level of marketing that goes into this.
yeah. Okay, I can't.
Everybody
tell if
remember
it's
when J.J.
singing.
Abrams was talking about how it's definitely not. What was it with Star Trek Into Darkness? Definitely not.
Oh, definitely not Khan.
Yeah.
No way, that's Khan. Can't be Khan.
Halftime.
Yeah, we're at
Just
halftime.
halftime alert.
Halftime. Oh, so we're getting close, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
I have loaded up the Star Wars official Star Wars YouTube channel, and I will begin to refresh after. I guess Bruce. I don't think Scott. You have ESPN on.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yes.
so you
I'm
can-
turning up the volume now.
You can tip us off to that to it. Have they been rolling any promos? I saw one or two small promos that have been surfacing online today that were kind of cool. Like the big one I've seen is a shot of the Millennium Falcon with
In a giant battle.
yeah,
Or leading a giant fleet, I guess I should say.
yeah. The Resistance must have one heck of a recruiting program.
Well,
You
that's
guys
what they were
talked
doing
about
at the
that?
end.
We haven't actually.
That shot?
Aaron, you want to?
Yeah.
Anything jump out to you? Of course, the big thing is the Rebels reference.
Yeah, that was the big thing everybody was talking about, was the Ghost possibly, or at least the same ship type.
I mean, it looks like I'm pulling up a picture that I had on Twitter. It looks like it.
Yeah, the ghost.
I think it's
Back to
funny how
Ghost.
like that leads to. We see. We saw the Ghost in Rogue One as well, but it leads to all the speculation. It's like, oh, that means who's going to be flying it? Oh, Ezra's back. I'm like, guys, they're not going to have Ezra just show up in the last of the.
Thrawn's flying it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
so-
introducing enough people.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty much. We saw the Ghost in the only shot it'll probably be in.
Yeah, I'm. Since we're talking about it and referencing it, I'll see. I don't know. I'll see if I can get it to.
Okay, they're introducing.
Oh, they are? Sweet. Well, while they're introducing it, I'm gonna take a look at this shot.
Got Van Pelt's introducing it.
The trailer.
Hey.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Is it Anthony Bresnikan?
Wanna-
All right. We'll see you, Aaron. Thanks.
I'm gonna
Take
go
care.
It
downstairs.
is.
All right. Can we get Scott Riffin's live reaction? Here we go. Let me pull him up. See ya, Aaron. Bruce, are you just gonna hang out and wait for us?
I don't know. I'm
It's
gonna
like-
watch the trailer.
It's like,
Who? Ooh,
he's
that
all
looks
right.
like indoor all day.
Oh, hang on. This is
Yeah,
starting. All
Whoa!
right, trailer's beginning, folks.
What?
I'm refreshing it now.
All right.
All right. All right, we'll hear it. Let's listening to it.
Ooh. Okay.
Crank it.
Good people will fight if we leave.
There's Rose. Ooh, nice. Blockade runner.
No one does.
Oh, Ray's being ambiguous. Kylo. TIE fighters everywhere.
Have I waited?
Ah. My goodness.
Coming together.
Star Destroyer. Okay, we've seen that shot.
Undoing.
Oh my. Fixing 3PO.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Oh. Oh. There's Leia. It's just the hug. But it's Luke all day long talking. Lando. Big Star Destroyer that came out of the ground. Fathiers. Come on, Fathier. Oh, throne room. What? Is that Vader?
Oh my gosh.
That looks like the Emperor.
Will be with you. Always.
A lot of Luke talking. The Force will be with you always, the last line. Luke says it. That's a stunning, that's a
Dude.
good-looking trailer, guys.
The audio sounded great. Everyone else left, but I listened, Scott.
That's a good-looking trailer.
Dude, hit me your reaction while we're waiting for it to load, and I'll watch it. But what's your big takeaway?
My takeaway is a lot of vintage stuff that is designed to bring us old guys back around.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like a Star Destroyer is coming out of the ground.
Jeez.
You know, we get the throne room from a couple of different angles. We hear the Emperor's voice. I swear, I think that's. I think there's some more Force Vision-y stuff in there. I think that's what it looked to me briefly like Kylo Ren and Rey slashing at a Vader that just kind of crumbles into pieces.
Interesting.
There's definite indoor looking stuff.
Yeah.
And she does this thing where they show and again, it could be intercut things. They show her taking a leap off this cliff-looking thing that's on indoor and landing on a big section of the old Death Star.
What do you think? Oh wow! So it's confirmed. Then you think if this is definitely indoor?
I think it looks a heck of a lot like indoor. If it's not, they're missing the boat.
Yeah. So
Which
Bruce
means we'll probably see Ewoks. But
Yeah.
it looks like it's indoor.
Yeah, none in the trailer though. Oddly enough,
No.
Unless the fallout from the Death Star landing on indoor did something to kill them all.
Yeah.
That would be
Could
kind
be.
of brutal. You know.
Bruce, give me your first reaction.
Well, we didn't see anything new of Carrie Fisher. Like
Yeah.
Same hug.
Oh,
Same hug.
And I
Yeah.
think it's so nothing new with Carrie Fisher. I think it's live, gentlemen. Let me refresh this page. I just saw it notified on Twitter. So if that's the case, I will go ahead and set up the shot and do the actual watch myself here. So
There's a lot of good looking stuff in this thing.
Yeah, let's see. It's on it's on Twitter. So
I have to watch it again.
Yes,
let's see if
no doubt.
But it seems like there's a lot of energy. It seems like a fun movie, the way they're presenting it. Like it's,
Yeah.
It's a Star Wars movie.
Right, exactly. And I think they did a good job representing that.
Yeah. All right, so let's see if this thing will full screen. All right, I got it loaded up here. Let me go ahead and transfer. Sweet. We're gonna go to full screen and actually watch this. Riley, I'm so excited right now. All right,
This is a good trailer.
Yeah. All right, let me transition and we'll take a watch. And I can't wait. Let's see it. Oh wow, yeah.
I can't see it.
Either.
Oh, there it is.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together. We're not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
Long have I waited. And now you're coming together. Is your undoing.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
Oh, that got me the first time.
Confronting fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny. The Force will be with you.
Always.
Oh, that's Leia at the end. I didn't realize that.
Oh my gosh. Jeez, guys.
What a great trailer.
Holy cow. I mean, it's the
What a great trailer.
it's the best one, right?
Yeah.
It's got, I mean, bar none. It's just a beautiful tribute to the saga, which is what we've been talking about. Aaron, you're back. Let's hear it. Your reaction?
I watched it twice. I had to watch it and then rewound it and watched it again. So
You're ahead of me.
Yeah.
I literally just saw it for the first time. Holy cow. I'm still processing a little bit.
I'm glad
There's
I got
some
my tickets
interesting
now.
things we had talked about if they would show Leia. They showed her, but pretty much just hugging Rey, so we didn't really get any dialogue
nothing
from her
there.
other than that last word. That last, always.
Always. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is just a great, subtle tribute. But there's so much to unpack. The one thing that just jumped out to me, which would be no surprise to most people, is the music. The just going for the full main Star Wars theme. Still in the kind of Disney era epicified version of it, but just setting
Still
that
synthesized. You mean.
Yeah. But it's setting that as the backdrop to this to the trailer. I think just kind of set the whole tone for the trailer.
Well, remember that the main theme of Star Wars is Luke Skywalker's theme.
Yeah.
And so Rise of Skywalker, they're playing the Skywalker theme.
Yeah. I mean, it only makes sense. And the death of one Skywalker and I guess in the ascendance of another one happened on Endor. And that's where we return. The original concepts that we saw in the visual with the original art book for The Force Awakens had concept of the idea of returning to Endor that were long abandoned. So I guess it's not really a surprise that J.J. Abrams returns to the very place Darth Vader was buried and the Ewoks were, thumping on some stormtrooper helmets. But
And the Emperor met his undoing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the Death Star may be on Endor, or the moon of Endor, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm going back frame by frame where Rey's running through this jungle. It doesn't look like Endor to me because it's
really.
It looks more jungle-like than woods, because the tree trunks, the trees were very thick and big, and these are very small, and they seem more floral, fern-like.
Well, I was going to say I'm seeing ferns, but there were ferns all over Endor. Of course, you guys can speak. How many? I know.
Riley was
there.
That is true, and it is. I'm actually pulling it up right now so that we can do.
But the other thing is, this helmet drops in that first shot that she's running by, and it's very evocative of the Rebel helmets in Return of the Jedi.
Yes, I like that call. Yes,
I thought it was like a training helmet, like what Luke puts on when he's training with his lightsaber.
Yeah. Okay. So
look at it. It's got that metal headband thing on it.
Yeah. I've got it up on the stream, so as we go through, we can actually reference what we're looking at here. But just looking at it here, it's the same training helmet, but just listen to that sound. It does. It really, with the ferns. Oh yeah, and those are redwoods. I mean, I'd know them anywhere.
It's an instinct.
It's an Is that Poe? I think so.
It's an instinct.
Oh, it's Finn.
Okay, yeah, and that's Finn. And we've seen this shot of her training, but now we see the training helmet and the training remote in the distance as she is training on Endor. Who's training her? What do you think, Aaron?
The spirit of Luke Skywalker.
She's training. She's training herself. She stole the books.
I think it's Leia. Leia's training her.
Interesting.
Why would she be on Endor? I don't know. That's interesting.
Well,
I'm kind of with Bruce on this one. I'm kind of questioning if it's a different planet.
Yeah, the one shot where she's leaping across looks a little more Indiana Jones jungle. Then that's the one shot where I question a little bit.
Guys,
what's up?
They put the poster out.
Oh, there's a poster. Oh, all right. Well, let's pardon us while we're.
Pardon me as I look this up.
While you guys are looking at the poster, I'll make a comment about the trailer.
Yes.
Okay.
I did think there was a little bit of Raylo fuel in this trailer.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes where the Raylos are gonna latch on to that.
Let's see what I think you're talking.
Well, there's even a scene where Kylo Ren and Rey attack something together, like they break something.
Yeah, I thought it was a Darth Vader. I thought that was a Force image of some sort.
I thought it was Darth Vader too, but it went so fast. Like
it was almost like a little, almost like a relic, kind of like a statue or something.
Yeah,
I've got it up here.
It shatters, like obsidian kind of thing. So
no one does.
Are they working together at that point?
Yeah. All right. Yep. There's him appearing out of the rain, and I do. He knows her.
He knows her.
Nobody knows me.
He's literally all right. Notebook fans.
Adam Mark Leonard says Ewok working on 3PO. No, they named that creature.
No,
and I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
not an Ewok. I forget the name.
Not an Ewok. They did name him though.
Yeah,
it's adorable though.
And that's the
and
moment.
Zori Bliss is standing in that same scene, but still with the helmet on. We've yet to see her without the helmet.
Yeah. So and Scott, the moment that really got you was that just looking at my friends, that line of 3PO. I feel like just
for the last time.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely tell that was a big moment. Brief aside, because like guys, we're just reacting to this as it comes out. Here's the trailer. The poster. I just put it up. Pretty traditional Star Wars fare. Definitely a lot better than the Celebration poster. It's it's all the heroes lined up, Rey and Kylo in the foreground, the rest of the heroes in the background, kind of a blue versus red lighting, and of course that same picture of Kylo Ren and Rey facing off on what we now know is definitely the remains of the Death Star. Well, and let's talk about that, because you talk about
Rose is on the poster.
Yeah, that is. Oh, yeah, that's true. Important.
The smallest character, though, man.
So awkward. Listen, it's Lucasfilm. Direct your criticism. Hey, so the poster kind of definitely juxtaposes Rey and Kylo, but then really this whole center moment after the establishing shots is this whole little exchange.
People will fight if we lead them.
Right here.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
It's the face-off. I mean, it's the ultimate face-off in the ultimate Star Wars location. And I love it. I love it. I love the way Kylo like freaking changes the grip on his lightsaber. I love that there's like waves crashing dramatically. I know he did. He literally lets go of it and picks it up as it falls down. I was like, he's just being flashy. You know how he is. But I love that part. I love the dramatic. It's literally sort of the counter Mustafar. It's like the reverse Mustafar, visually speaking, and I really like that visual contrast.
There was a lot of, and you'll forgive me for kind of bowing out of the novel since we've got Mr. Bookworms here.
Yes.
Kind of having bowed out of the novels finally a couple of years ago, but I know there was a lot of talk in the original lore about there being something underneath Jakku. Is that where these Star Destroyers are coming from?
I mean,
the Star Destroyers are coming out of the ground.
I don't think so. I don't believe. I mean, there was a hidden base under Jakku, but I don't believe it was Star Destroyers that would be under there that would have been undiscovered. But there is a lot of talk around there being something. A lot of these forces had gone off into the outer regions and stuff. So it's kind of like, have they just been in hiding out there? Kind of. And we always kind of assumed that that's where the First Order came from, but it's almost now wondering, okay, maybe those forces that went out to the outer regions is not actually what became the First Order, but that's still the Emperor's forces that are kind of building up. And the First Order was like an offshoot. So
yeah, okay. Yeah. And now that you mention it that way, the shot kind of reminds me of the Enterprise underwater in Into Darkness.
Yeah,
I could see that. I'm trying to remember. That's also juxtaposed with the Emperor line. Let me take a listen to it real quick.
Long have I waited, and now you're coming together.
Raylo fuel.
Yeah, well, your coming together will be your undoing.
Oh, did I miss?
Your coming together is your undoing.
Yeah. Well, but the long have I waited is the line that's then boom, there's a Star Destroyer rising out, and I think that's the insinuation is that he's back, like cue some AC/DC.
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, and then right as back together, it's the shot of Rey and Kylo dueling it out. I don't think that. I think the Rey Kylo duel has to happen in the first or second act, though. That's not the climax. I don't think. I think
I need some help on. There's a certain frame.
Yeah, tell me.
It's at 159.
Okay.
It's towards the end, and she's looking up at something. I can't tell what that is. Like, is that a person? Is that?
I thought that was Emperor.
It looks
that's
like
what I'm wondering.
It does look like the Emperor. Yeah.
But what's that? There's like some mechanical things or some wireframe or something.
Big, they show that throne earlier. I thought it was that.
Yeah. Like I don't.
It was almost like the side of his cloak or something that was kind of waving a little bit. Maybe that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm seeing the cloak there for sure. I don't know what the background is. But the ground that she's standing, I don't know if the electronic looking things look like his throne or looks like the throne from early in the trailer, but the ground she's standing on certainly has that look. Right. Let me see. Let me contrast it. Let's take a look at the. Yeah, it's not, because when I flip back to the throne here, it looks like pure ancient Sith stone. It looks like an ancient Sith throne that Palpatine then modeled the more technological version after on the Death Star 2.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I like that.
So is this a Death Star throne then that he's sitting on?
I think maybe it is. I could see it. I mean, it kind of only makes sense. And we see this sort of grand... It's the shot that came out before, but all of the ships, there's the Hammer Corvette, there's what looks like the Ghost, what looks like some Mon Calamari ships. It's just the litany. It's the kitchen sinks of of rebel ships. This is what they wanted to happen when they sent out the call. Is this the call being answered? Yes, it is.
I
ding,
think
ding.
so.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
Should be, yeah.
It's a year. It was like a year after the Last Jedi.
Yeah, it's a year, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I think with
go on.
I'm assuming with Lando coming back in the picture, there's some amount of force that's coming with him. I know that the other girl, Jarrah, is like a freedom fighter, and she's got some people that kind of are under her, and that's who I think we see charging in on those horse-looking creatures toward the end of the trailer, is her and her people.
Is it?
Yeah, I tried to look closely at the faces, and I mean, Finn's there and she's there, but then some of the other faces just look like randos.
Okay.
So I think it's some of her people that are kind of riding those horses in. You know, and then you have Zori Bliss, who maybe she's got friends that she's bringing along. So I think it's kind of like this culmination of, you know, a handful of different people that have some sort of force behind them that they can all bring together. Mm-hmm. And I know the Mon Calamaris, there's the son of Akbar is coming into play at some point too, right?
In one of the comics, I know he did. I didn't realize that might be.
Yeah, I think there was a character that they had revealed that looked almost identical to the character they revealed in the comics as his son. So I wonder if the placement in the comics is intentional because he's going to show up in the movie.
Yeah, I could see that. That'd be kind of cool. Oh, I love the shot of Lando laugh. Like, that's one of my favorite shots in Return of the Jedi, when he busts out of the Death Star too, and he's like, "Yeehaw!" That's like my favorite moment ever. That's why I recreated it for you guys. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
But just seeing him, let me see. I think you do hear him laugh. A little bit, just a little bit.
Well, there's just a certain joie de vivre about Billy D. Williams anyway.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I love a lot of space battle stuff. You do see the clip of, I think it's Jannah, maybe it's Jara, I don't know how you pronounce it, but them kind of riding the horseback creatures along what looks like the surface of a ship that's kind of cool though. Again, this one shot at 1:45, minute 45, right when it says the saga will end, you see the sort of resistance charging on some alien horseback, more or less. So they're basically, it's Return of the King, but in Star Wars, hearkening also to the non-technological fighting against the technological, which I like.
This is I just froze frame on this, them beating this thing into splinters.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
What's our timestamp? I'll put it up.
It's a 152.
Okay.
I actually did a screen grab of it, believe it or not. I gotta feel like this is some kind of a Force thing. Everything is white.
Yeah.
And yet what you see in the background almost appears to be the top of Vader's meditation chamber.
Huh.
Do you see that in the back?
Yeah, and the lights on the side look like those kind of lights that you see on the Death Star.
They're Death Star lights, yeah.
It's
or
like
Star Destroyer lights, or
right.
The reverse
Imperial ship.
The reverse Death Star. It's all
everything's
possibly
white. Yeah,
possibly a vision that they're involved in or something.
That's what I'm thinking. And again, the way I've got it frozen, there's almost no way that's not Vader's head.
It does kind of look like it. If that's a moment for Kylo Ren where instead of worshiping the helmet of Vader, and he finally comes full circle and destroys it, like if this is the redemption path, I could see it.
It's an odd thing to have in the trailer, especially when it's kind of so up in the air on like if he's gonna be redeemed or stay the villain, and that does seem to imply that there is going to be a moment at least that they're working together. Which I think at this point a lot of people are expecting. But yeah, it is interesting to kind of throw that in the trailer, and maybe it's a misdirect again, or maybe he helps her for a moment, but
hang on a sec.
Turns,
Okay, hang on. Garrison's showing me something. Are you saying that when they're riding these father or horsey thingies, they're actually on the surface of a Star Destroyer?
Oh, they are. It does look like that.
Oh my goodness!
I've got the shot up. 154. Yeah, it looks like it.
Holy cow!
Dang. They're taking the fight to the Empire. And I say that on purpose because these look like Imperial Star Destroyers. I mean, I'm no ship expert, but it's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, no Sam Witwer, but...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm looking at it here. It looks...
No Hux in the trailer.
Oh.
Interesting. Good point.
You make a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
I'm okay with that.
I'm actually kind of okay with that if they were going to treat him like they treated him in the last film.
Yeah.
Because he went from downright scary in The Force Awakens to being comic relief.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
And no Luke. No, I was hoping we'd see Luke. In the trailer.
His voice is all over it, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Voice that they were kind of restrained. Like Bruce, you were talking about it. They did not give you like the big moments. They really were kind of restrained.
No, shame on them. JJ, come on.
Come on.
You knew he wasn't. You knew he wouldn't. Let's take one last listen right here at the very end.
The Force will be with you.
It almost seems like it's moving.
What was that, Scott?
It almost seems like the Emperor is moving. Whatever that is he's in.
Yeah.
It almost seems like he is moving.
Yeah.
In that thing.
Well, gentlemen, it's quite a trailer. We could go on and go on through every single shot, but let's just go around the virtual table and just kind of give your overall impression based on what we've seen, what we've been discussing. If it made you more excited, less excited, trepidatious. Bruce, why don't you lead us off?
Well, I've always been excited. I'd say I'm a little more excited. I'm a little disappointed because I did want something more from this trailer that shocked me, and nothing really shocked me. If anything that got me the most excited was seeing the throne, because I've always wanted, for the longest time, I wanted these movies, these sequel trilogy movies, to go to like Vader's castle or something evil and mysterious. And I've seen things here that feel that way, and that's something I've been wanting to see. Like, let's go to the Temple of the Sith or Palpatine or Vader's castle or whatever, something to that effect. So that throne really got me excited.
Yeah.
A chair got me excited.
Bravo, sir. Mr. Aaron Goins?
I think I'm the same excited. This trailer didn't... As much as I love the trailer, and I think it's a lot of cool new scenes that we've seen, it didn't really give us any more information than kind of what we already knew. A lot of just different scenes with the same characters. I think there's still a lot that we're going to be surprised by. I think they're holding back. And interesting that they teased us with Dark Rey in the last trailer, but no hint at that in this trailer. Like,
that's true.
And I'm kind of surprised they didn't at least kind of lean a little bit more into that to show that there's going to be some sort of conflict.
Yeah, maybe. That really was kind of we'll see if it's a gimmick or not, but they really don't even reference it. Which it's got to be intentional because that was the big question from the last one. But Mr. Scott Rifen?
Going back to 1977.
That's too far.
We always saw these movies through the eyes of the droids. I mean, the first thing we saw for 30 minutes in that first film was the droids. We always saw these movies through the eyes of the droids. And then to see 3PO say, taking one last look, sir, at my friends. And I feel like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I feel like 3PO and R2 have guided us through these films, and now they've kind of, in a very real sense, been kind of our portal into that world. And now they're telling us this is it. This is one last look at our friends. And it's going to be it, obviously, I think, for them.
Yeah.
I loved the trailer. I was excited by it. I don't need a lot to get me going on this whole thing.
Yeah.
I just need something that looks like Star Wars, that feels like Star Wars, and is going to, and gives me the promise and hope of a satisfying conclusion. And I think that's what this did.
Yeah. No, it is. It's kind of. I'm really excited to hear your reaction, Scott, because like I just love seeing someone who's such a classic Star Wars guy, seeing even when you first watched it and it was just on ESPN and I hadn't seen it yet, of that line of the droids, it's the sort of manifestation of what JJ was promising, and I think that's really important. Like, and
to have 3PO do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
it makes all the sense.
It wasn't Dio.
No, wasn't Dio. No. Wasn't BB-8. Wasn't Maz Kanata.
Yeah,
it was 3PO, the guy that's really been our window into the galaxy far, far away. He and R2.
And R2 was right there with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that's very true. I think you guys, I can't even add anything better than what you guys have said. I really appreciate you guys coming on tonight. I can't wait to break this down more. I've already been kind of more excited and more into Star Wars in recent weeks than I have been in a while. I'm kind of getting back into that phase of just being open to being really excited about a Star Wars movie and really excited to see where it goes and what they show. And I'm very impressed by the direction they're going.
I'm going to tell you, I was at Celebration, when they debuted the Last Jedi trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I was never in love with the trailer.
Yeah.
I was never in love with it, and I was not in love with the movie, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I'm in love with this trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen. Ringing endorsement for one Scott Rifen, guys.
There you go.
Until next
means
time.
It's gonna be good.
May the Force be with you.
Coming together. Is your undoing.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir. At my friends.
I love it. Hey, if you haven't, we'll be back next week breaking down the trailer. We'll have the links to everyone's social media and everything in the post, but I'm just going to let this play out. Until next week, guys, may the Force be with you.
I love all of you.